to be talking about the strange, weird things that are in our world that most people don't talk about, and we'll get down to some of the reasons why we've got so many power struggles going on in our country, and why we have a two-party system in a country that claims to have a democracy and a republic. Why we only have two parties is in and of itself a conspiracy. That's right. The election process has been rigged a long time. Now, there's a reason why I have an alien or a picture of the KGB releasing a picture that was from 1957 of an alien. This was leaked stuff that came out in 2011. It's because I need to discuss it. I don't believe aliens exist until I actually see one in person. I don't believe they exist.
Brian.
Okay, we got callers calling in on our number 707-YOUR-ATP, YOUR-ATP. Brian, what's up? What's your question?
Yeah, how you doing, Dave?
Yeah, I had you on the line, but I didn't hear from you.
Not yet. I've called in a few times.
What's your concern, man? Yes. Yes, it was rigged.
I wanted to, what you thought about the strikes in Somalia.
It's an ongoing problem.
Heard about that?
Yeah, well, there's strikes going on all the time. Yemen is the big hot point right now, but I would gladly talk about the strikes going on in any one particular area, but it's a diversion. It's a diversion from the reality that we are dealing with here in America. I would rather talk about America. I'd rather get our troops home and subtract troops from the Middle East. I'd rather see our nation start to repair its own problems as opposed to strike other nations and create more enemies. I'm a little tired of that. And I thought Barack Obama was the kind of person who would do that. But he's not a person who answers to anybody or anything. Barack Obama simply does what he's told as a good puppet president. Okay, we're looking at aliens behind me. These are credible pictures, the most credible pictures of aliens that have existed. And that's about as clear as I've ever seen an alien on film. And there's actually people that have looked at these things and said that their eye movements indicate that this is not CG graphics. This is not an animation. You're seeing facial movements in their eyebrows and their eyes that indicate authenticity. All right. Well, it's as credible as that any picture of an alien can be, period. That still doesn't convince me that aliens exist. All right? I'm still having a problem with that. And whenever you see stories about aliens online, you usually see pictures like this, which means that they're putting pictures of things that we can't confirm with pictures that we can confirm right out in front of our window, chemtrails. And you begin to wonder, is this being manipulated? Is this a psyops by the government? Is this the CIA pushing stories of reptilians next to chemtrails so that we don't ask questions, that we think that everybody in the world is some sort of a conspiracy theorist, whack job or something? I mean, a lot of people are beginning to think that's the case. Well, there's a story of a satellite that exists. It's actually a satellite that's in space that raises all eyebrows and concerns about what's really going on. It is the Black Knight satellite. It's 5 miles by 1 mile in length. And it resembles something that would be man-made or possibly alien-made. And this is the only thing that leads me in the direction of believing that there are aliens. Brian has a question. Go ahead, Brian, ask a question. If you have a question, interrupt me. David,
Go ahead.
I'm not trying to convince you that aliens and chemtrails are the same thing. I'm trying to explain to you that that's a common tactic done by CIA psyops. They're trying to confuse you. They're trying to make everyone believe that you're a whack job, and I'm just not a whack job. So I'm willing to ask questions, but this is the big thing that I ask that really raises the issue. If this exists in this space, how can it possibly have been made by man when it existed before we had satellite capability? They have telescopic images of this Black Knight satellite that reveal not only its size, but the fact that it was around before we even entered into satellite capability as a human race. Okay. Breaking. Ebola spread by talking about aliens. Sweet American. Is that the best you can do? Because that is pretty original. Thanks, Sweet American. Some of you are in here to be writers of chat. And many of you are very articulate. And I want to thank you for your effort to chat in our chat room, because these are the chat rooms that you actually read. Unlike other chat rooms and blogs like Politico and Huffington Post, we don't see any of those things. Okay, I got to get it out of that game that I was in earlier. Let me see. I've got a controller. I have a game show that I do prior to our regular show, and it's kind of fun. But I'm not going to play games for you. This is serious. This is live and interactive. That's right. Way better than a blog, a static blog where you write something and it gets lost in the blog archives that only the NSA has to watch your every move. Yeah, there's an article on the Black Knight satellite. Thank you. Let's bring that over there, Paul, and see what we got here. Yeah, this really does exist. I'm not making this up. So it's the one thing that really sticks in my mind as a possible verifiable piece of evidence that shows me that we may have aliens in the world. Because I don't believe mankind put this thing in the atmosphere. And I also believe that the Drake equation is a very real equation. It's an alleged object orbiting Earth in near polar orbit that UFOologists and others believe is approximately 13,000 years old and of extraterrestrial origin. Yeah. All right, so you believe it's a Photoshop, you can believe whatever you want. It really doesn't matter. I'm not going to focus my entire night on aliens, okay? It'd be absurd if I did. I mean, even if I were to, hypothesize that aliens exist, the last thing I would assume is that I'm one of them. But then again, there are people that believe that anything's possible, right? But no, seriously, I'm clearly not an alien. I'm clearly a human being, and no, none of us are aliens, and I don't even believe in them. I'm still waiting on an actual first-hand encounter with aliens. I've yet to meet an alien, other than, an illegal alien from Mexico. Hola, and buenos dias, and welcome to our show. Buenas tardes. If you are from Mexico, we would like to talk to you a little bit about our plan to become a U.S. citizen by going to your home country and taking the 6-question immigration test at the U.S. Embassy. We want to put that in play for 2017. I'm straight, yeah. What was that, Brian? Because it sounded like you were blowing your nose on the telephone.
Yeah.
You don't like aliens?
Pardon me.
You don't like illegal aliens, Brian? Did I touch a chord? Or?
No. No comment.
You're not like Marco Rubio and want lots of them to come into our country and use all our services? Okay.
No, not that.
Okay. Do you have the hiccups, Brian? That's a bannable offense from our show. I'm sorry. Do you have the hiccups, Brian? Yeah.
I do.
Okay. I'm going to sign up.
I'm serious, dude.
No, I'm serious. I'm going to sign up. When a person gets the hiccups and we have them on the phone, it's always like the in the background. It's like I can't take calls from people with hiccups. So get rid of your hiccups and then call us. I know, the Alaskan Snow Pipeline, yeah. And oh my gosh, Dr. Meow, gee, William Shatner wants $30 billion Kickstarter money. Yeah. Gee, why does that sound predictable? Yeah. Let's hope it's not Brian.
To accept, press 1. To send a...
Oh, I thought he wanted $30 billion. Okay, you're on. Hello, what's your question, Mr. Silence?
Hey, how you doing, Dave? You there?
I'm there. What's the question, man? And who are you?
Hey, man. This is Larry. I got a question. Do you support gay marriage?
I don't support the government getting involved in marriage at all.
Okay, and the second question is, do you believe that in the black vote?
I do.
Like in the black man vote?
I do. I support integration. I support ending racial profiling. I don't think Obama's done enough to stop racial profiling.
Because, in the store right now, they got like a lot, there's like a trend going on right now, like the black get like involved in like racial, you know, they got like a thing like, you know, black man and the black woman, their lives count. I mean, like,
Yeah.
I know like white people and like Spanish people, everyone's lives count, but like, you know, and I'm not saying like, you know, everybody got a tone, everybody's side or something like, you know, but you know, as president, you know, you foresee doing something like, you know, that could help stop the guns from like killing people?
Yeah,
you know?
man, yeah, that's my concern, man. Racial profiling has been going on all over the place by unreal cops that are brutally killing people and picking them out and targeting them because they're of minority descent. That's why 85% of our prisons have minorities in them, which is a serious problem, and it's not being addressed by this black president. So yeah, I will do everything I can I will not fund municipal city governments that are allowing bad cops on the force, on the payroll. That's a big step in the right direction. We'll cut back on funding municipalities with federal dollars who have bad, brutal cops on the payroll. That's what Barack Obama could have done, and he did not do that. Okay. Any other questions?
Okay. No, I appreciate that, Dave, and
I'm seriously concerned. Go ahead. I'm seriously concerned is that this has gone too far, man. It's happening all over the place. People are being shot, killed. Procedure is not even followed. These guys are shooting to kill when they should be shooting to maim at the very least. You know, there's a picture of a person who's mentally deficient holding a screwdriver out in front of his house, killed by a cop. And we saw that right on our screen last week. It was unbelievable. Because he had a screwdriver in his hand. He was shot dead. It's terrible. Shoot to maim, right?
Yeah, my friend Pookie, he got shot in the butt.
Yeah. Okay, thank you for the call. I'm sorry for Pookie, and you almost handled it until you started cracking up. Yeah, he was trying to do some sort of a fake thing on the phone. A lot of people think it's a joke. You know, this is the Drake equation. And I thought many of you scientists, experts in math, could read the integral factors that are connected to the Drake equation. N equals k to the infinite times function of r times n being the infinite nature of the universe, times f4, which is the function of extrapolated hyperbolas as they contract in an infinite expanding universe, times f subprime 3, which is the belief that in an infinite universe with infinite objects, anything's possible. Basically, it's a probabilistic argument used to estimate the number of active, communicative extraterrestrial civilizations in the Milky Way galaxy. Okay? Thank you. All right. Anyone have any questions about the math? Just contact a PhD in mathematics. Any other questions? Feel free to go to your own bathroom and vomit. I don't have any real answers to all of you who want to know if aliens exist. Okay? Thank you. Okay, but we do know there's some bad people living in the world who want to hijack our existing monetary system. We do know that there's some people that have taken over our nation's banking system called the Federal Reserve. We know that. We know that there are a group of people at the very top that some people say are a little too rich, like 9/11 Order of the Garter. These are the people that actually have secret meetings, and even Prince William joined it recently. Are they implicated in anything at all? I don't know. I can tell you that it's a little weird that they gather and their name is 9/11 the Order of the Garter. Yes, the Rothschilds are part of that, and they're centered in London, the city. And they've gotten so rich that they don't know what to do with all their money. Yeah. So they've got all this control. They own the Federal Reserve. They own 160 banks around the world. And they run our monetary system. Go ahead. What's your question? You're on with me, David Sponheim.
Hey, Dave.
Hey, how are you?
Hey.
Yeah, what's going on, man? What's up? What's the question, man? We got the same background sound from that, and I use this audio system I have to check credibility and authenticity, and I can hear emotional triggers at every level of these phone conversations of people that are trying to deceive me. Now, I started employing this technique a few years ago when I discovered that people were trying to cold crank call me every single time I call in. They weren't taking this seriously. Well, anybody can call in, but the fact is these people are thinking it's funny to call in and say that they're this, that, or the other thing. It's just not cool. So we will drop out of a call that's not credible on our honesty meter. Thank you. Deception is evil. I have an audio system. You can't troll me. That's right. Red alert. Walmart underground tunnel system has been identified by people that think it's there. This is really weird. Okay. Let me drop out of the order of the garter and bring up what's really on your mind, which is these Walmarts that have been inexplicably closed down during the Jade Helm exercise with 8 to 15 states involved. And now supposedly mysterious deaths surround the Jade Helm State Walmart California Tunnel System project. If they check out in, can you ever leave? Okay. If you check in, can you ever leave? All right. Walmart tunnels. The DHS NSA venture involves hundreds of stores. I'm turning into powder. Really nice hair. Thank you. I really care about this tunnel. In fact, I'm going to make it front row center here. And I'm going to put you and I in it. Right now. So this is the biggest concern people have, that once they get in the tunnel, they can't get out. I don't blame you for being concerned. They're using, are you just guessing, Giblort? Could all of you who just guess write guess? And then your statement? Thank you. Yeah, because you're just guessing. I don't want you citing things. That's how urban myths start. Willie Pickles. Okay, go ahead, Willie. You're guessing, Gilbert. Okay, thank you. I care. Go ahead, Willie. What's your question?
Hey, how you doing today?
I'm doing fine, Willie. It's all good to listen to Willie. What's your question, Willie? Your most intellectual question.
No, this is Larry.
Well, Larry, how come you said I would use
Larry.
Willie Pickles? Now you're Larry. Okay, Larry.
You have a cross line. I said Larry.
Okay, Larry. Go ahead. What's your question, man?
Yeah, I'm sorry. Yeah. What do you think about the Surgeon General over there that tells MO get vaccinated?
Yeah, he's insane. And he's some sort of a shill for the New World Order. This guy they picked, this affirmative action graduate that they chose as Surgeon General, or maybe he's just a person who came into our country and became a naturalized citizen. I don't know the specifics on him, but I can tell you that he's just their mouthpiece for the New World Order that wants to vaccinate all of you against your will. That's right. They're very quick on their feet. You know, I'm concerned that we don't need vaccinations.
Everybody stays healthy, and it's like some kind of ploy.
Right. Well, that's the thing. It's a ploy to get everybody into vaccination. I don't believe in vaccinations by and large are tested and proven and show science. Yes, some work, but most do not. And there's solid evidence that vaccines have been created to, in some way, put things in our body, like thimerosal with mercury in it. Good evening, Riddler. I walk as much as I possibly can. I try to, in between swimming and levitating, I do walk. Go ahead. What's your question?
Yeah, Dave, I want a bumper sticker. Do you think I can get my money back?
Larry, you pulled it off. You cannot. You got to go directly to, I believe it's Cafe Press. Yeah. Within 30 days, they will give you a money back, I think. Okay. Yeah, you just can't hold it together, you know. Yeah, so do you want to go down the tunnel? Maybe you took the red pill and you want to stay in Wonderland and you want to have me show you how deep the rabbit hole goes. They're very lame, yeah. All right, so what are we going to find here? Mysterious deaths. Let's find out about that here. Let's find out. We'll put it in the area of reading. An entire slew of mysterious deaths around Jade Helm State Walmart's 15 state Walmarts where at least 4 decomposing bodies have been found within a month's period of time in Texas, Oklahoma, in at least 5 different incidents. The latest case, getting mainstream attention from this Daily Mail story, shares of a Colorado father of 5 who disappeared after spending $300 at a Southern California Walmart. Whoa. With so many mysterious deaths surrounding Jade Helm, 15 states, Walmarts in only the last month were offered a conspiratorial look into a mysterious Walmart tunnel system detailed below that leads us to ask if these tunnel systems will soon be used to quickly take people and disappear out of public eye. It's never been seen again, or to never be seen again, giving black sites a whole new meaning as the red list is taken underground. If they check you in, can you ever leave? Wow. This is one hell of a doozy of a conspiracy theory, isn't it? I mean, on the list of conspiracy theories, this is top notch, man. This is like it's got a self-sealing premise that you'll be taken in if you're on the red list and you'll never be seen again. Now, do they state where these tunnels are? That's the question. This quote is from a former U.S. Navy SEAL, gives us much more to go by. The tunnels are already in place. They're using the 6 months, which brings us into September, to clear the place out and configure them for supply depots, communication hubs, and pre-processing centers. Well, the red list is anybody who goes against the control of the elitists. The blue list are people that don't ask any questions. Like red list is anybody who goes against the elitist and questions anything. That's what the red list is, yeah. That's if you believe the red list exists. We're all working with theories here. We're building upon theories, okay? So if you believe this tunnel exists, which it clearly, it's a photograph of a tunnel, whether it is the tunnel or not, you'd have to check the internet to see all the pictures of tunnels to see if this wasn't just grabbed off the internet. There are people that make money on websites declaring things are, seriously messed up, just so that they can make click-throughs on their AdSense on YouTube. Yes, you can if you go through Cafe Press. Yeah, but you have to be within their return policy period. No, I never said I'm on a list. I tend to think I'm on the fuchsia list. It's slightly different color than red. It's more kind of a mauve or a maroon. I prefer the fuchsia list myself, but if you prefer maroon or aquamarine or possibly burnt ember, that'd be fine too. I don't know, G. Gordon. All I can tell you is people in the NSA do not usually start presidential runs. Yes, I think I answered your question. Now you can leave the room because I answered it for you. No, nobody's made any donations from Walmart. Here's more about the tunnels. Swiffer the Cat has a Walmart plumbing code word tunnels underground.
I'm going to say it again. What? Look into the belly of the beast. Well, these are the
Oh, this is that guy who's a Christian online, yeah. Like many people, like Paul, many people are trying to profit from this, and this is more serious than that. I don't think it's time to just sit there and be a conspiracy theorist just to make hits on your AdSense account. That would be one of them. Yeah, I just don't. Dabu 7's another, yeah. I tend to believe that Dabu 7 is a government agent. He appears to be control opposition. I would say Dabu 7 is defense defense analysis, head bureau, headquarters. 007. That's Dabu 7. That would be COINTELPRO. Yes, go ahead.
Press 1. The voice
Harry, go ahead. Harry, do you have a legitimate question? Let me have you say 1, 2, 3, Harry. Go ahead and say 1, 2, 3.
1, 2, 3.
Okay, Harry, we almost have clearance. Go ahead. What's your question?
Yeah, I was just wondering, Dave, I watch your show every night, and I was just, you have a conspiracy theory about a lot of things.
I do?
You should really, yeah, I know, and I agree with a lot of them.
Wow.
I really do.
I didn't know I had a conspiracy theory about anything. Well, that's interesting. What is my conspiracy? Yeah, I guess I believe that there's a Federal Reserve that has too much power, a central bank, and some people think that's a conspiracy theory, but it's actually a fact. So I don't really have a lot of theories. I have a lot of facts, conspiracy facts. What's your question?
Theory.
Yeah.
What's conspiracy?
Yeah. There are theories.
Maybe we should change the show to 365 conspiracy theories.
Yeah. You said a funny.
I really do agree with a lot of them because, like the caller earlier, he called in and he said something, and you actually agreed, and you actually it was about the vaccinations. That's true. And then another caller called in and said something about the bombing in Yemen, and you said it was a distraction, and that's true again.
Yeah. Boy, you're right.
A lot of people don't see it that way.
I know.
But then you got the conspiracy theory about fluoride. Fluoride is actually good for your teeth. It prevents cavities.
Why is your voice changing? What's going on? Are you the same guy who called me earlier and then tried to laugh at the end of the...
I got a retro voice changer from 1974.
Oh, Jesus. God. Yeah, Wade helmet. Yeah. Wading thicker and deeper in the garbage of our minds. Yeah, so I want to really get worried here about going into Walmarts or any other detention center. I'm a little concerned about taking a trip this summer because I'm afraid that if I'm on the road, I'll be pulled into one of those major FEMA detention centers out there. And I'm wondering why FEMA camps all have fencing around them. And our country has 800 and some odd FEMA camps. I don't understand why there's so many fences around these concentration camps that they're creating. See, I understand the concern that people have about the Walmarts, and I will be looking into that story in deep detail. But there are things that really do have facts and figures and pictures, and they show images, like this FEMA camp, concentration camp in Beech Grove, Indiana, that's parading around as a repair facility. Now, we've talked about this Beech Grove, Indiana facility that has turnstiles and controls so that they can take people from rail cars and put them in lines. They even have red and blue lines set up. No, these FEMA camps really exist. And back in 2008, when you went on the internet and looked and Googled for FEMA camps, you could see them all. It would light up like a huge map across the globe. But now you cannot do that. Whenever you look for FEMA camps, it won't show up on Google Map. You won't see anything. All you'll see is this. You won't see any maps. It'll show you none. But back in 2008, when we first started this whole process, somebody did make a copy of these pictures and showed this picture right here. This is the original picture that we used to see when we looked at FEMA camps across the country. This really is the incredible list that's out there. So I'm not making this up. It's really out there, but the government doesn't want you to see it anymore. They pulled it off Google. So they do exist, and the day will be 2018. Okay, riddle me this. Yeah, so I'm a little concerned that the government pulled all the lists that was on the internet off the internet in 2008. Let me clear this off for you so that you can just look at that in the bottom of the screen here. Millions know where they are. Go to a gas station. Even the doofus working beyond the desk knows about the FEMA camps already. Good point, 518. Thank you. Guest 518 says millions know where they are. Well, how come millions are not voting for a third party? How come millions are not stepping out and doing something about this? How come millions of people are not aware that we exist? So I urge you to tell everybody about America's third party right now and stop this incredible takedown of our rights and our freedoms. I'm dead serious about this. We need to do something to stop this incredible takeover of our country. And if you think that this is just imaginary and that this person in the chat room is just making this up, no. I do believe that there's something very strange, like a totalitarian takeover that's happening in our nation right now. So if you want to check me out, you go to americasthirdparty.com or davidsponheim.com, but I am running for president, and I am trying to stop this incredible takeover of our freedoms. I will gladly show you my FEMA camp footage, but not right now. Thank you. David, you do exist, and we know it. Awesome, Carl. Hey, Carl. What's going on, man? Working hard, I'll bet. Okay, let me scan through the chat here. 249 believes that China is about to harvest our bodies. Is that a fact, or are you guessing? I'm doing well. Thank you, Carl. Is that you calling? You did a Google image search too, Gilbert? Good. Okay.
Your caller just hung up.
I'm not vaping. No, I have my oregano vapor right here. Yeah, if I ever want to smoke any oregano, it's right in front of me at any time. It's kind of an herbal, relaxing thing to, use aromatherapy. It makes me totally relaxed, dude. Yeah. What about the hologram body parts? We can talk about that. Would you like to discuss the possibility that pictures of Barack Obama have been altered? I would gladly discuss that with you right now. Feel free to ask any questions about the illegal backgrounds of Barack Obama. Take up this picture right here, which clearly is a doctored copy from the CIA, showing his mother with a black hand standing next to his supposed father at the time. The hand of Frank Marshall Davis is the real person standing next to little Barack. Hey, did you hear about that story about Barack and Frank Marshall Davis? It's gone public that he was literally living with this known communist all of his childhood. And the guy was a pedophile, and he was he was into some weird stuff, took pictures of his naked mom. Yeah, you saw the black hand? Yes, you can talk about the scar on Barack Obama's head. That certainly qualifies as conspiracy theory footage. Absolutely. Some of you are still concerned that the president does have a scar, and you have a reason to be, because this indicates, and top neuroscientists have indicated that this indicates that he had brain surgery. No, it's not Photoshop. This is real. I've seen multiple pictures of this. I could even play you a live picture of Barack Obama in front of... Let me move this out of here. I can play you a live picture of Barack Obama at Oprah, in which you can see the actual scar on his head. Isn't this exciting? So all of you who believe in Photoshop crap won't be able to actually see it. Here's Barack Obama denying the knowledge of aliens. Let's listen in. And you'll see the scar on his head.
I feel like if I was the president, it's unlikely that...
It's Jimmy Kimmel, sorry.
You never know. If I was the president...
It was unlikely that I was going to be president.
The moment I was inaugurated, my hand would just... It'd still be hot from touching the Bible, and I would...
Let's see. Let me close in on it for you. You can see the outline of the scar pretty closely. It's in the picture. I'll show it to you.
Immediately race to wherever they have the files about Area 51 and UFOs, and I go through everything to find out what happened. Right. Did you do that?
That's why you will not be president. That's the first thing that you would do.
Okay, go ahead, Steve. What's your question? You're on. Hello.
Well, it's nice to talk to you.
What's your question?
I was wondering if, my question is, like Ron Paul was a doctor, Rand Paul was an eye doctor, whatever. What was your profession before you started looking to run
for
president?
Good question. Yeah, I was an advertiser for quite a few years, and prior to that, I was a news director for a radio station, and then a newscaster for radio, and I also did television production in Hollywood for a few years, and I worked in voiceover I've also marketed organic food. I mean, I've got a lot of things, but more recently, I was an advertiser. Go ahead.
Well, I just, you would have, Hollywood, I see your lips moving here on the internet, sorry to lag, but it looks like you probably could have been a good ball checker.
Not really sure where you're going with this, Steve, is it, or Larry? Let's do Larry tonight. Anyone want to call up Larry? Mike Rowe has a velvet voice that has made him millions. Mike Rowe is a sellout who will do anything for cash. I'm unviable, and I will not. I would have easily pursued a career in newscasting had I wanted to become a suck-up to the corporate world, but unlike Mike Rowe, I'm not. So you get the benefit of a guy who's honest and non-materialistic running for president. That's just not true, Got a Race. You're making that up. What is your vape device called, Vorpalbite? It's called a Cloudpore M3. And in the herbal chamber in here is where you put your oregano. Or basil. Or possibly whatever. Yeah, the Cloudpore. Cloudpore. It's made in China. No, I don't. No, I try to avoid doing anything hallucinogenic. Any other questions? No, I've already done a live demo. It's on my recorded broadcast. You just have to sort through 200 broadcasts to get to it. I won't tell you which one it is. I do believe there's a conspiracy rolling out in all different directions. Name one area there's not a conspiracy, and I'll try to pick out the facts from the fiction. Go ahead. Any area. Pick an area, and I'll tell you if there's a conspiracy or not. Is Hillary going to be president of the United States? That's a conspiracy. Yes. The answer is no. It'll come late, but there's something that's going to uproot her from the presidency. It's not something that she even knows herself. I was addicted to cigarettes at birth.
Two.
My mother smoked 10 cigarettes a day, so when I was born, I was addicted to cigarettes. One of the first words I said was, "Can you give me a cigarette?" But I literally liked the smell of ashtrays.
Right now,
I liked the smell of ashtrays as a kid. It was weird. I know. I was kind of shocked too.
Hey, Dave, what's today's subject? Could you hear me, Paul?
Today's subject is, does Barack Obama have a reptilian scar on his forehead? And then we're going to go on to the next subject. On his head.
Yeah, I don't believe in that reptilian stuff. I believe, like if you think about it, aliens, what's an alien? It's like a thing, like whatever from not this world. So I think it's like ghosts and demons. Those are considered aliens, too, by the proper definition.
Okay.
But I wanted to talk about OPEC. Did you know that Venezuela and Iran are both selling oil in euros? We got sanctions on them.
Yeah.
And like the whole plan with the New World Order you always talk about,
yeah.
Their main goal, which makes sense, is to make a one world currency. And the only way to do that is to destroy OPEC.
Yeah.
Because the dollar is pretty much the world currency.
Well, honestly, they would be foolish to drop off the dollar as the world currency if these people are the ones in charge or in control. They have a tremendous amount of dollars themselves, so why would they just abandon all of their dollars? You tell me, because that's the big clinch here.
All the central. I'm sorry, go ahead.
That's the big clinch in your argument. Really, is why would they want to get rid of all of their cash? China has carloads, truckloads, railroad cars full of $100 bills.
Because every country is using their common sense to see that with the way America is, and that they have the power of like the currency, they could like fund the Nazi war machine. It's the American war machine.
Yeah.
And they're funding them and helping them, their accessory, by selling their oil in dollars. So the reason that they would want to change it over is what it would do. It would cause like mass economic crisis. Because everyone's going to be selling oil in different currencies, there's no stability, everything like that. You know what I'm saying? And then though it's like
What is it? That one dialectic problem, reaction, solution. So they cause that problem, the reaction, mass poverty,
Yeah.
economic crisis.
Yeah.
Solution, one world currency.
Yeah, you're not answering all my questions, though. You know, they're not going to want to take a loss on their massive investment by converting to another currency. It just won't happen. Salem spelled backwards is males. Yeah, we are aware. Salem and males are both mutually, switchable. Right. Thank you. What is the caller's name?
Dollar is the world currency, pretty much. Everyone's hit to their shit.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So that's why, like, Iran first, Saddam tried to do it in Iraq. They killed him. They tried to sell oil in euros. Then Gaddafi was talking about selling oil in gold. He got killed.
Yeah.
And now Iran, they're stronger in their hips, so they're prepared. And same with Venezuela.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
I do, but those countries are they're basically on our hit list of removal, and they're not going to last long. Look, you're looking at a nation that has ruled the world as the strongest nation for decades, and we also have the strongest military. What makes you think we're not going to use our military to bolster our petrodollar?
I think that will happen.
Well, then what's the problem, man?
It's not like these guys. It's not like these guys don't have a military. Russia's strong. China outnumbers us like 5-1.
Are you talking about a standing army? Because we have way more nuclear weapons than China or Russia combined. I don't understand what you're going with. We have way more nuclear weapons than any other country in the world.
We have more weapons. They have more soldiers, Dave. Look at the population in China.
Are you worried about guys, soldiers, and boots on the ground? They can't get over here without jumping on big boats, which are sitting targets in the ocean.
I don't think that will.
I mean, where are you going with this, man?
I think that the war is going to be in the Middle East.
It is. It's coming. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Israel is going to attack Iran any day now. It's coming. Oh, yeah.
Yeah, exactly. And the price of oil is going to skyrocket because it's going to affect the oil transportation through the Straits of Hormuz.
Whoa. You just jumped through a lot of circles there, buddy. I mean, hey, 18% of our oil comes from OPEC nations. Come on. We've got our reserves are filled to capacity. We've got tons of oil.
70% of Europe's oil goes through the Straits of Hormuz.
Yes, Europe's oil, but not U.S.'s oil. So why do you keep confusing the U.S. with Europe? I don't get that.
Europe's our ally. We're going to have to.
So what?
Oil up to why do you think we're mass producing oil? Everyone is, Dave.
We aren't. Saudi Arabia is. Documented proof.
Right,
ISIS is a creative.
Producing oil.
Well, corporations are not doing. Nobody's going to spite their own feet while they're walking. Are you going to trim your toenails while you're walking on the street and then stab your feet while you're walking? I mean, seriously, you're saying that we're going to basically destroy our monetary system because we're somehow involved in taking over other countries. I mean, Iran is peaceful. But soon they'll be very at war.
To spite their face. Dave, answer this. If they're not going to cut their nose off to spite their face, then why are they mass producing oil and lowering the price of oil? They're losing money right now, Dave. Why are they doing that?
They're doing it to trigger a Russian's reaction. We're going to take another caller here. Triggering Russia's reaction.
Yeah.
Okay.
To add this call.
Okay, Kim. Kim's on the phone, or Jim, or Kim, or what are your... Hi, what's your question? Stop just a second, Tony, and listen to Jim or Kim. What's your question? Go ahead.
Yeah, that's fine. Go for it.
Yeah, I just want to say, I think Don Tony is a very intelligent person, and everything he's saying is correct. And I think that you should stop talking down to him, Dave.
I'm not talking down to Don Tony. Is this a gangbang or something? Is this a chat gangbang here? I mean, wow. You guys have a serious mental problem. I would contact your doctors, both of you. You know, it's gangbang on the phone with Dave. Yeah. Your biggest concern at the moment is Greece and Germany starting a war with each other and the rest of the world. Awesome Carl's concerned about Germany getting defaults on the debt notes that they've written to Greece. Yeah, I said the word gangbang, yeah, because they were ganging up on me. Is China going to be the superpower once World War III ends? World War III is not even going to end forever. I mean, once we started World War III in 2001 with the attack on Iraq. Shock and awe kicked off World War III. We've been in World War III for the past 15 years. And we're going to be in World War III for another 15 years. It's going to be a 30-year war. I could just listen to Carl. He could go, "Hey, it's me, Awesome Carl." Hey, Carl. Go ahead. Right. Okay. It's not Carl. Go ahead, Rick. Reg. You didn't call yet.
Mr. Sponheim, can you honestly tell me that you don't believe that Zionism is a problem within our United States government?
I do believe that Zionism is a problem within our United States government. Absolutely. We have a serious problem. 90% of the bankers in America are of Zionist origin in their beliefs. We know that. I'm not a Zionist.
I thank you for addressing that.
Yeah, no problem. Yeah. It's very true. And we need to get fairness, and we need more people given a chance to become part of our banking community, our doctors, our lawyers. We want more opportunity for everybody, not just people who are Zionists. So we want to make sure everyone is on the same page here. I have a local business owner in my area who's an open Zionist, who brags about his Zionism, talks about his connections to the Freemasons, talks about his relationship to controlling the world and the destiny of the world and all this. Yeah, they definitely think that they are in control, and they're leading us directly into that place that they want to be, where they create a new Jerusalem of some sort. And this is really kind of scary.
How come every time I mention American Third Position, you ban me from the group?
Because we don't support America's Third Position. They came out 2 years after us. We are not white supremacists.
It's not a popularity contest. It's an ideological party.
We know that, but I don't recommend other parties in here. You can't promote the Democrats here or the Republicans or any other political faction. Just America's Third Party. I'm kind of selective that way. Hang on. All right.
Call from
Dave, I apologize if I offend.
to accept, press 1. To send a press 2. I'm sorry, I didn't catch that. To press 1. I'm sorry, I didn't to accept. I'm sorry, I didn't that. I'm sorry, I didn't catch that. I'm sorry.
I didn't catch that. I'm sorry.
That.
I can't.
To accept, press 1. To send a voicemail, press 2. I'm sorry, I didn't catch that. To accept, press 1. Voicemail. Your caller just has press 2 to call unknown.
This is ridiculous. Sorry, I had to drop out of that call. Okay, yeah, she was really working up a little lather there. I was wondering if she was excited or not. Do robots get horny? Does anybody know? No, I'm not a Nazi. I have no affiliation with the Nazis. I'm not a white supremacist. I'm a centrist. Yeah, you were getting excited by that female voice, weren't you? Yeah. Sorry, David, but if you would ever make a good, you would have to admit it and get over your ego. Yes, you are full of ego. Admit what? That I kept A3P off our show? Yeah, I keep all those people. Anybody who supports an independent party, I keep off the show. You can't talk about other chat rooms in our show. You can't represent other parties in our show. It's that simple. Thank you. Awesome, Carl. You're very kind. Awesome, Carl. I met Carl in New York, his home state, and we had a great time. And I really enjoyed our time talking to you. We meet people on occasion when we travel across the country. My thoughts on Toyota. Well, first of all, let me get background information on Toyota real quick. Toyota is a modern corporation which is currently operating in Japan without China. Yes, let's check about the news. Do you think there's a Toyota news story? Latest plans, Toyota doubles the size of the Plano headquarters. What's your concern about Toyota? You can talk about Ralph. Yeah, let's talk about people like Hillary Clinton, but let's not promote them here, okay? If the DHS is tied to the tunnels under Wally World, if an army needs to be a meal before invading under, would it be important to have control of food stores, you think? Good point. Guest 518 says the reason why Jade Helm is using Walmarts is to control the food stores, so that they have plenty of food. And Sarah said that too, yeah. But I don't think you'll be eating at the Walmart.
That makes sense.
It does make sense.
Hey, Dave, I just want to apologize for that last person who called. He was rude, you know what I mean? But
Yeah.
I didn't do anything. So
I know, man, I know.
Probably just hung up to hang up on him, and both calls got disconnected.
I need at least one moderator. I have multiple moderators working on my
You're
processor.
an intelligent guy.
Thank you so much. Plano is going to be a huge for a Toyota plant, Tomato Girl says. Plano operation will be a very large operation. Toyota is going to be building and employing Americans. Is that such a bad thing? Okay, go ahead.
Dave, could you hear me?
I hear
I
you.
have another question.
Yes.
Hey, what do you think about a food shortage and overpopulation?
coming.
Like, if you look at, like, the history of Africa, like, there's not enough farmland. Like, you could over-farm the land, and it takes all the nutrients out. It happened in Africa. That's why they're starving. They're dumb.
Okay, I'll answer your
They
question.
overfarm their
I'll
land
answer
and
your
not
question.
let them
Thank
grow
you.
there.
You have a tendency of asking questions and continually talking. Tom.
Problems, people getting sick.
Tom, hang on. Tony. Stop asking a question and talking incessantly. When you ask a question, you've got to pause and wait for a response. Okay. We've got a call from Tom. Tom, I will address your answer.
What do you think about mass overpopulation?
I will talk about overpopulation and food shortages in just a second. Tom, go ahead.
Yeah, this show is a fucking trick.
Obviously, a train wreck is better than what you got in your life. Otherwise, you wouldn't be watching it, Tom. Yeah. You're on that train to Walmart, buddy. You're riding on that train. You're on the train wreck heading right toward that Walmart detention facility underground where they have the incinerators. Yeah. Keep it up, buddy. Okay, Tony. Your question is very simple. Yes. Overpopulation could easily create a huge problem with our nation. We have a 5% overpopulation growth rate. Most of it's attributed to illegal aliens coming into our country. If we didn't have illegal aliens coming into our country, we wouldn't have a population growth problem. But most countries south of the border have a 30% increase in population per year. That creates a crisis at the border with Mexico. So we need to have a very good 1,000-mile fence with Mexico, which will be a fortification of this nation, so we won't have to deal with a rising, huge fly-in of population in this country. Now, getting on to the food reserves. All right. Well, we'll take your cancer, but the food reserves, Don Tony, are another issue. We don't have a strategic grain reserve in this country. Now, if there are storage units down in the underground facilities under the Walmart, I don't know. I haven't seen them, and I'm still vetting all the information on the internet about that underground storage facility.
Okay. I have another question, like,
Sure.
pertaining to this issue. Do you think that they're going to cause, like, a big war to bring down the population because we don't have enough resources? Like, the main goal for the power elite is the preservation of our planet, obviously. So
No, the main goal of the power of the elite is not the preservation of our planet, obviously. The main goal of the power elite is to have more power. Okay, you're in. What's your other question? You have another caller here. Hang on. Go ahead, Tony. Wait a second.
It's going to be a troll or something, man. They're messing with me.
Well, I want to hear their voice. I don't want to cut anybody off. Tony, I wouldn't take your calls if I cut you off. I mean, go ahead. What's your question, other caller? Go ahead. I'm listening. Grow your own food. Good point. Get some free-range chickens. Raise gerbils. Have you considered a lucrative business of raising gerbils in your backyard? Gerbils could be a big money-making opportunity.
Didn't the government pass a law that it's illegal to farm in your yard or whatever, or something like that?
You can have as many gerbils as you want. No, I have nice eyebrows. You can see them with the camera. I just have blonde eyebrows. I'm blonde. You don't understand that? No. There will be a third party, and the reality is we won't have a revolution. Everyone's too fluoridated to revolt. In case you haven't walked out and looked out in your neighborhood and watched their mouths going, nobody's going to revolt in this country. If there's a revolt, it'll be fake. These trolls are taking over my show. I don't want to do that. I will not take callers right now, Tony. It will take time. You're right. That's why I started this 6 years ago. All right. We're going to now focus on the real problems facing our nation. Obviously, it's not some guy concerned about underground tunnels. It's actually a cycle of lack of jobs, lack of economic traction in our economy. When the Federal Reserve decided to print up and give away $20 trillion over the past 10 years, we have seen no dollars going into the hands of Americans to create American businesses. So I believe that building an infrastructure bank will bypass the Federal Reserve and will begin to have a parallel system running while the Federal Reserve, we begin to disassemble it. I will need Congress to do it. I'm going to be doing a lot of lobbying to get rid of the Federal Reserve, and I'm going to need people like Ron Paul and Rand Paul to step up and do this with me. Go ahead.
Press 2.
Are you high? My eyelids are pink. I didn't know. I'm not a pinko. Of course I'm not high. Are you
How
high?
can you keep hanging up on me, man?
I'm not hanging up on you. I have to dump out of the call when I take another caller, Don. Is it an inconvenience for you to hit the redial on your phone? I mean, it must really put you out to hit that button, buddy. I mean, you act like it's a big deal to hit redial. Jeez, come on.
No, but I thought you were mad at me or something, or I said something to offend you. I just wanted to clarify that. I apologize.
Well, I'm not mad at anybody. I don't hold any grudges. Even people that come in here thinking I'm knocking A3P out of the show, I don't allow other people to promote their parties here. I'm trying to spawn new ideas.
I understand, yeah.
Yeah. I'm David Sponheim, after all. I'm trying to spawn new ideas here. Okay, so you're concerned about a food shortage nationwide. I am too, Don. We're not that far apart. Even though we live across the country
That's
from
why
each
I like
other.
you, because we think the same. Great minds think alike.
Absolutely. And I don't dislike you at all, Don. You've always been good to me.
Yeah, I don't dislike you. I respect you. I value your opinion, and I like you.
Great. We're on the same level
You're a
now.
smart guy.
Well, we're definitely looking at business closures here. A mobile-geddon is upon us. Brace yourself, everybody. Small businesses are going to be going down big time. I just published a list of all the businesses that are closing. Target, Sears, JCPenney's. I mean, there's all kinds of downsizing going on this year, which really means that we are headed toward an economic meltdown. And it's been put off for the past 6 years because of the Federal Reserve.
Do you know what corporations own these businesses?
Mega corporations, man. We're talking super, like Cerberus. I'm going to ask a question. You're going to let me answer it, not talk over me again. Okay? Thank you.
All right.
Thank you. Cerberus, the company that just bought up Safeway and Albertsons. Cerberus, you know, the company that we know so lovingly as Cerberus. It's also the name of a mythical creature in mythical history called the three-headed dog that guards the gates of hell. And I'll show you the image of this terrible creature. This is it. The three-headed dog that guards the gates of hell. This is Cerberus. That's the company that took over Safeway. So yeah, there's a mega buyout going on, and it's called the buyout practice, and companies like the Carlyle Group, Cerberus, and many others are buying up all the little guys right now.
Hey, Dave, do you got an email
Thanks, Don.
that I could email you at, and so we could swap info and
Yeah, I
stuff
do.
like that?
It's called America's Third Party at gmail.com. Okay, that was not a serious call. America's Third Party at gmail.com. I'll put it in the chat room, Tony. This is our email.
I'm writing it down right now, thanks.
Yeah, you can just follow the chat
Is
link.
it all small letters?
Yeah, America's Third Party at gmail.com. Okay. Thank you, Don, for telling me Cerberus bought your company. Cerberus bought my old company, then bankrupted it. Don203 said that right now. Thank you. Good point.
That's not me.
No, that's fine, Don. That was a different Don. Smithfield via China owns the USA pork industry. Good point. Going to Dover. Smithfield owns the new... China now owns Smithfield, and they own the pork industry. Good point, Don. Going to over.
Hi, this is a serious call.
Okay. Go ahead, serious caller.
5. To accept. 1. To send
Okay.
a...
Sounded like Rodney, didn't it? Hey, go ahead. Okay, we got a serious caller. Don, we got a serious caller online. Go ahead. I like Google, but I have to say we don't need a monopoly forming. Just because I have a Google account doesn't mean I don't think monopolies are a good thing. I think they're bad.
Un-American.
Okay, we got a caller, a serious caller. Go ahead, Rodney. What's your question?
Hi, Dave. You were talking about gerbils earlier. How many can you fit in your ass, man?
See? Unbelievable. We give Rodney a chance, and that's his answer. You know, that's his big comeback. Rodney, why don't you go work for Cerberus? Maybe they're hiring guys like you at the three-headed dog company that guards the gates of hell. Yeah. Well, let's be clear. Don, again, hit redial if you have a problem, but really, we can talk all night long, Don, and people don't want to just listen to you. You know, if you want, I could talk to you right now and you could pretend like you're calling in. It's Don Tony here. Dave, let's talk about OPEC, Dave. Okay, well, let's talk about OPEC, Don. What could your concerns be about? It's all going to go down, Dave. OPEC's going to take the dollar down, Dave. I mean, that's basically all you talk about, Don, is OPEC and the petrodollar. It can't all go down that quickly and that easily. It's got to go some other way. OPEC is a big deal, but remember, our country has huge oil supplies. Relax. We're sitting on the largest amount of oil in the world in the Green River Valley. Why do you think shale oil is so profitable? Hi, go ahead. You're on. David Spearman. No, I don't take calls from anybody that sounds like my name. I never had sex with anyone, not even my blow-up doll when I was at the White House. I never had sex with my blow-up doll because I thought the video cameras would be watching me. Okay, any other questions? Go right ahead. Fracking is sucking California's water. That's why we don't need to frack in fracking California. Good point. We need to frack in the Green River Valley. That's where all of that needs pull. In fracking near the Yellowstone Valley area is a good thing because Yellowstone Valley is a hot spot for methane. Well, let's be clear. Dr. Green, please go into the... David, what do you think about these Clinton emails? Amy, thank you for asking me the question. We have a caller. Go ahead, Mr. Green. What's your question? God. He's been activated. And now we got the Rodney attack. Yeah. Okay, would you vacuum a volcano? No. But we would take pressure off the base of the volcano. Hear me out. I'm going to take you to Yellowstone Valley right now and to the caldera, which is at an incredible hot point right now in its existence. Now, I talked to Bill Rogers, the director of the Idaho National Laboratories, back in 2008 about this problem, and nothing's been done about it. We really could use a tremendous amount of methane reduction in the Yellowstone area. It's a terrible situation. I bring you the caldera. This is one of the worst places in the world to go if you want to avoid any danger. I seriously would try to avoid it. This is Yellowstone. You're looking at an open wound on the face of the earth. So this is one way we could do it. Geothermal tap-in and fracking outside of the Yellowstone area would be the Green River Valley. And I don't need to hire a screener to call. I can take a radio show calls when we have the radio show set up, and I'm still working on it. You're calling? Okay. Well, I don't want to lose this call. Well, let's be clear. Go ahead and try again. Well, the fact is our government has produced 12% more oil production this past year because of the fracking that's going on in our country. So yeah, it is happening, but there are serious environmental questions. And the Democrats, Republicans won't even ask those questions. I'm willing to have more than enough questions asked about the fracking problem, and I'm willing to actually do point-of-use filtration for any house that has gas in it, in the water system. It's between Don, Tony, and Rodney. We need new callers. You guys, you've asked enough questions. We need new callers. Yeah, fracking's been around for 50 years, but it's more recently been used, and they've discovered a way of using it more efficiently using toxic chemicals like benzene. I will make that illegal when I become president. You won't be able to use benzene in the fracking process. And I talked to Bill Rogers of Idaho National Laboratory about taking steam energy, hydrothermal steam energy, essentially, converting it to electricity or passing the water right into the ground. And he said that if you take hot steam and go into 5 separate areas and then build a perimeter around it and then put cold water in those holes, you will see the purest, clearest oil bubble up, and it will be completely non-toxic, except for the oil itself. See, we won't be adding toxins to the ground. Thank you, Bengalitis. Amy Pye had a really good question, though, about... I know. Amy, you're very talkative tonight. Jade Helm will handle the super caldera, Miss Coco. That's funny. Hi, Sarah.
Good evening.
Amy's chawing. You have to chi, Amy. You've lost your chi factor. I don't need to buy a car. I have a car. And I definitely know how to drive. We already did start a green movement. It's called America's Third Party, and you need to get behind the program. Okay? We are totally green. I am not an internet hell. I enjoy this.
One.
Turn your radio off in the background, Neil. Go ahead, Neil. Did we lose you, Neil? Okay, Neil dropped out.
Welcome.
Okay, we have a death threat here. Yeah, I'm going to pass on allowing you to say that. And if you say another death threat, I will record it and send it in to the authorities. That's right. I have new ideas all the time. So how are you?
Fantastic. How are you?
Pretty hot. Pretty hot. We got the lava behind us. We're smoking hot on the show. We got a lot of viewers. And it's been really fun. I've had a lot of calls. Don Tony was worried about the food storage issue in America, as we are. I would love to reduce the methane that is leading to a boiling caldera. So when people say they don't want fracking, I say we need to frack around the Yellowstone so we can relieve the pressure on the Yellowstone. And obviously, you know, kind of lower the potentiality for the Earth to bubble up and have a massive volcano, which kind of sucks. It would lead to infinite human extinction.
Hi, Carl. And hello, everyone.
Hey, Jerry, what's up? Yes, you're on. I'm not sure I know exactly what you're asking. Could you specifically state that? Because I think you don't even know yourself. I'm not doing too well. Yeah, you've been calling up too much, and you really need to focus on the issues, Rodney.
Your wide receiver coach got arrested for solicitation.
Like Iran and Israel, and how soon the strike will be. Yeah, those are important. You want to talk about that?
Oh, that's good, Carl.
Okay, great. Thanks. Bye-bye. Okay, we're going to try to get a conversation going with Rodney about how Israel is probably going to launch a conventional war against Iran because Obama bumbled the agreement so badly. Take my hair down. My hair is down. I'm not wearing a toupee or anything. Easy Z would love Dave as a president. Thank you, Easy. Easy. Well, Dr. Meow, the fact that you drink 8 martinis makes you questionable. Well, you shouldn't interfere with Iran, but that doesn't mean Israel shouldn't. Israel is a mortal enemy of Iran, and Iran has Iran is building nuclear capabilities. And they'll have the nuclear bomb if the agreement goes through in 366 days. You know, I have some Indian tribal background, Mohawk, Algonquin. I really believe that, you know, I probably would look good as a Mohawk Indian. No, I don't have a toupee. I mean, you can see my hairline. You can see the pink in my I mean, this is all real, dude. Just because I have great hair doesn't mean it's a toupee. God.
We had we had a wet, rainy winter, but no snow at all.
Okay, I care about the Middle East, and it's going to go down. You know what's going to happen, John. It'll affect everybody. Go ahead.
I kind of feel like John does. We should not be sending them money and should stay out of it.
Yeah, Sarah and I believe that we should pull out and not send any money in, and because obviously Israel hasn't.
Hi.
Hey, David.
Rodney, I said a serious call, not your falsetto voice when you're tucking.
Are you sure that wasn't Carl?
No, that was Rodney pretending to be Carl. He was tucking and he got this falsetto voice and he couldn't control himself. First of all, Putin has every reason to have a recent response to Obama. And every response is going to be negative because Obama pissed off Putin. What about that do you not understand? You have no agents anymore. Oh, you have agents. Good. David, how will what's going on in the Middle East affect regular American citizens? Well, you're going to see some changes in the price of your gas. Yeah, okay. All right, we're going to take a hiatus. I'm going to take a little coffee break, Sarah, but this is really important that you get a chance to talk to everybody. And I'm going to get rid of this Conspiracy Monday thing, and I'm going to put a better picture on the screen for you, okay?
Okay.
Because I don't want to leave you with that thing under your face. And they certainly don't want the caldera behind you, you know? That's got to be the weirdest thing ever, that caldera picture.
That's an interesting picture behind me now.
Yeah, it's really kind of cool, I think.
What is it? Oh, it's the Doctor Who.
Yeah. Well,
Okay.
Something. All right, thanks, everybody. I'll be right back. I'm going to get some more coffee. I'm getting parched. This has been a great interactive show, though.
Oh, good.
Yes, I will prosecute Elizabeth Warren for fraud when I become president. Unless she can prove her lineage to the Cherokees, she will have to be prosecuted for fraud. You can't lie and get affirmative action money to become a professor and then become a senator on all of that without facing the music. You don't have a president, Kwame.
Well,
You've got an emperor.
After this election's over, we'll begin again with the next one.
Okay.
I think the thing is, Carl, they do background checks for public school teachers, but I'm not sure about private school teachers. Well, even if David is elected to the White House, we'll begin the campaign for 2020 because David will be serving 2 terms. Let's be clear, I look marvelous, thank you very much. It does depend on the school system, that is true. But at least in our school system, they do background checks. So that's good. It all depends. John Cage, I don't know if that's the case. Maybe it's the case in your state, but not necessarily the case in ours. Okay, Paul, I think you can tell him that. I'm not a big fashionista person, but okay. Say no, I agree. Say no to open border and mass immigration. Will I privately teach you? Not without a background check. Do I support drug tests and strict background as well as academic tests regularly for teachers? I think what they have in place right now is very good. Teachers do have to take an academic test called the Praxis 1 and the Praxis 2. And then they sometimes have to take other Praxis tests as well. I actually got top 15% in the nation on the Praxis too. I have an Xbox 360, so it's pretty good. No, not going to happen, Pop-Tart Spammer. No, I have not won Teacher of the Year yet. Alright, rising death toll of migrants in Mediterranean sinkings put Europe in crisis. European leaders were confronted on Monday with a humanitarian crisis on the Mediterranean as estimates that as many as 900 migrants may have died off the Libyan coast this weekend. Wow, 900 migrants. Yes, I have been a student and I will continue to be a student. Yes, I actually do like the Common Core, and you can look at corestandards.org. I'm not sure I'm in favor of all the testing, but I like the idea of, hey, this is what we expect kids to know at certain grade levels. Oh, thank you. I do have a lawyer intellect. I was considering going to become a lawyer, but I would have to go work for a lawyer, and I'm not sure I'm ready to do that yet. Any mission school for we Africans in America? Well, I would perhaps like to work with the embassies in Africa and the U.S. embassies to maybe have some schools at the embassies, English schools at the embassies. Yes, I do have some fake teeth. Oh, that's true. I'm not willing to abandon any morality. Do I currently attend college? No. Did I attend college? Yes, and I received magna cum laude, which is basically an A student. You barely graduated high school, but yet you're here and you're learning. Yes, you are the first to tell me I sound a lot like olive oil. Mental examinations. I think that a background check suffices, Tom Jones is God. Thank you very much, Awesome Carl. We appreciate you printing and posting yard signs. Is it frustrating being with someone that is or claims to be the best at any subject you bring up? It's nice to, if they really are the best at that subject, then I have a lot to learn from them. Sometimes when they claim to be the best and then they're not, that can be frustrating for sure. No, Tom Jones, I do not. Oh, that sounds good, Carl. Oh yes, please pull up any dirt that you have on me, 9724. I have a pretty clean record. I've a pretty awesome, fantastic life. Have a great night, Carl. Hi, Ryan 985. So the Sicilian prosecutors arrested a captain and crew member of this migrant ship that was off the coast of Libya. I wonder where they were coming from. Oh, thank you, Carl. Yes, I'm as pure as a driven snow. I am broadcasting myself right now. I really hope the best for you as well, Funkin' Junkie. Oh, thank you. I just want to say right now, I want to take this opportunity and say thank you so much for coming to watch this show. Thank you for doing your part to make America a better country and make, your life better. I want to encourage you to pursue your dreams and encourage others to pursue their dreams as well. You can start by doing small things in great ways. Every day, just take your time and do something small in a really great way.
I made a little blender drink for you there.
Oh, thank you so much. Like David, he just made a small blender drink and it tastes great.
Yeah, it should be good. Yeah, I'll be right there.
No, I keep my professional and my political life as separate as possible. You still on the Ray of Sunshine kick? Absolutely. I plan to be on this Ray of Sunshine race for as long as possible. I'm not preaching. Am I preaching by saying have a great life and be great? Pursue your dreams? Maybe I am. I have not watched other people's broadcasts. I hope that they're doing well. I think it's soy milk and banana and something else.
There's a little yogurt. I was using that yogurt from the freezer, and banana and non-GMO soy milk.
Oh, okay. And some banana, frozen yogurt, and non-GMO soy milk. Yes.
Some protein powder.
I did not see Rand Paul destroying Hillary about hiding all that information. I'm glad that's happened, though. I have not been to Europe. I have not been out of the North American continent, and actually I have not been to Canada either. I did, however, travel to Mexico as part of a missionary process, on a missionary trip, and it was very good. Yes, I am wearing a dress. Wow, that's interesting. Thank you. You think I will watch Star Wars 7? I think I should go back and watch all the other movies first. A scissor fight, for some reason, that link did not work for me. I think it's the stars that are in the link. No, we're not right on the Canadian border. You either have to take 2 ferries to get over to Canada, or you have to drive north for about 2.5 hours. So we're really close, but we're not right on the border. Oh, okay. Well, David doesn't drink soy very often. Oh, I can't see the link, guest 5896, because it won't let you post a link if you're a guest. So you can sign in and then post it again. Yes, sometimes David and I don't agree on everything, but we're very good. Yeah, both of those links, Scissor Fight, did not work. So you'll have to figure out one that does. No, I'm not high, and I don't take any mind-altering drugs. I just decided to be happy, and that's the way I am. I'm pretty close to you. Very good. Yeah, all of that is removed. I guess can't post links. Alright. Yes, I enjoy a healthy dose of endorphins, and I've heard if you smile that it releases more endorphins in your brain. So I decided to smile more. But I do want to encourage you all to pursue your dreams. All right, Baltimore mayor is angry about Freddie Gray's unexplained death after his arrest.
All right.
Am I aware of Constitution-free zones in the USA? No, I'm not aware of those.
I didn't know there was a Constitution-free zone. Okay, let's get back to the room here. I'm not sniffing glue or doing bath salts.
Even if there is a female president candidate running, I still support David John Sponheim for president until he serves his 2 terms. Thank you, Scissor Fight. I'm sure that one will
No,
work.
I do not need to smoke anything, but thank you for asking. I don't do Valium. I don't do any designer drugs. I've never even done Viagra.
That one did work. Thank you very much. So a mysterious disease has killed 18 people in Nigeria.
Let's try to focus on what that could be. You think it's Ebola?
23 people were affected and 18 deaths were reported.
I will not be nominating my wife to ambassador to the UN like the popular series House of Cards. Thank you for asking, though. We just finished a 39th episode. We're waiting for next year. Balume.
The symptoms of the disease included headache, weight loss, blurred vision, and a loss of consciousness. They've ruled out Ebola and any other virus.
Sounds like it sounds very similar to mumps or
sudden blurred vision, headache, loss of consciousness followed by death.
Mono,
occurring
and
within 24 hours.
It could be the new H2N5. They've been engineering that to try to experiment on the African people.
All those
Bill Gates and all the others.
Affected began showing symptoms between April 13th and 15th.
Right. H2N5, yeah. That sounds like H2N5. It looks like the early testing stage where they're using Africans as guinea pigs. And that's really sad. I'm not in favor of eugenics. I don't support Bill Gates and all their attempts to vaccinate the world. I'm very much against that. I want to make sure these people have condoms, yes, but not forced vaccinations. I'm not trying to ban people. I want people to support us and become trolls for America's third party, not against us. I want you guys to start promoting us. We really need your help. Go ahead. We have an Amber Cam.
Well, I think, Jerko, fan, you need to start believing David will see the White House and David will be president.
Yeah.
Okay, thank you, Funkin' Junkie. I will check out that link. And you want me to lighten up Amber's camera?
Yeah, you can do that, or just go to the camera configuration setting. Okay, we'll do that, Funkin' Junkie. Many people think the border-related policies impact only people living there, but the reality is the Border Patrol encroached deep into the U.S., over 100 miles deep, affecting a lot of people. There you go. That's good. Thank you. Okay, Amber. It's the Amber Cam. She made it into the show, everybody. Well, if you don't think I will be feces, then that's your choice. It doesn't really matter to me. Hey, I've already seen my pathway. It came as a premonition when I was a young child. And I really don't need you to take me away from my dream. But thank you.
We can start by editing the Federal Reserve.
Auditing or editing? Auditing, yeah.
Auditing?
We can start by auditing. We can also, Amber's trying to think this through. She's like, what is this thing looking at me?
What departments of government would you get rid of? I don't know if we're going to get rid of whole departments, but we definitely will look at ways to save money within the department.
Let's take education, for instance. I mean, you've got a lot of people in education, administrators in education that really want to make, they want to make money on education, and we don't need as many administrators on education. So the whole effort for the federal government to be the overseer of education at every state level is absurd. What I would like to see is all the people at the Department of Education ask, do you want to produce content and curriculum? Now, this is where I differ from Jeb Bush. Jeb Bush says he doesn't want the federal government to dictate content or curriculum. I believe that we need curriculum in spades. We need a lot of curriculum that will solve the problem in our country with kids not wanting to learn. So if the kids got a package from the federal government offering robotics and solar power and wind power, more than likely they're going to want to learn. So I say the government just hire people that want to develop curriculum and send it out to the states, and they can do whatever they want with it.
Putting curriculum online is a huge opportunity.
It is a huge task, yeah. No, none of my born statements are true. I have no official date of birth online for a reason.
I will consider running for president after David has served 2 terms. Oh, I think that is fantastic. I am glad that a blogger posted the idea about making border agents as judges. I've been saying that for about 6 months now.
It was your idea. You are really great. Sarah's got fantastic ideas, for real.
And, the more people that say it, let's just bring it about. I don't care if someone else wants to steal the idea from me or take it. I'm not going to take credit for the idea. I just want it done.
Yeah, we need to have some solutions at the border. Now, in 2000, the Supreme Court ruled that people under the 14th Amendment are guaranteed a jury trial, or a federal trial, I should say, by a judge. Not a jury trial, but a federal judge.
It is for a 20-day.
Sarah suggested that
Happy 420.
Happy 420, everybody. Sarah suggested that we make all Border Patrol agents federal judges. That would
Absolutely.
completely avert the whole problem of detainment and holding on to people.
Everyone can get their due process immediately.
Absolutely. She's got great ideas, and she's come up with the idea for us to augment the fast-track naturalization plan so that we send people to their home country.
Yes, I believe that we should deport all illegal immigrants. However, I believe that we should make it easier for people to become legal immigrants by having a test facility at all of the embassies overseas.
So we give money that is currently, obviously, the people that want to become a U.S. citizen have money. We get the money from them, a fee of $1,000. And we would obviously have, thank you, we would obviously have money then to finance the testing and even a basic education in English, history, government, and all the necessary tools to pass that test. So that the person would pre-screen to see if they could get to that location. They would qualify for the citizenship test, therefore they'd pay the fee and they would go to their home country and do it there. That keeps people away from our country that would be gathering at the border trying to get in based on the two parties that are currently operating. They want to let people in and they want to keep saying, come on in. Come on in. Seriously.
I looked at a video that I did, Hannah, and it was just like boring. And so I've decided to smile, try to look at the camera and talk to you directly more.
You know, I'm not worried about Canadians. I'm more worried about national Chinese people moving in through Canada, because there's a lot of people moving in this way. And they're having anchor babies. They literally pay a fee to come into our country and literally have their baby in cities around our country. That happens in Los Angeles. They have houses, suburban houses, filled with like 25 pregnant women from China so that they can have an anchor baby here in this country. So we don't need that. We want people to know that we're going to make a robust program in every one of our U.S. embassies around the world. This is a very interesting idea, and I love it. It's Sarah's idea as well. See all these great ideas she's come up with? Seriously.
Well, being around David, I can come up with one or two, and has come up with many ideas.
I have to.
All of which you can read in his book, Hybrid Capitalism.
Yeah, we have a book called Hybrid Capitalism. So somebody wants to know, what do you plan to do about GMOs? Paula Tradius.
Well, I would like to encourage all companies that choose not to use GMOs to please publish on your packaging no GMOs.
Yeah.
And that way you're going to have more people buy them as more people become aware.
Yep.
I know that there was a push recently in our state to try to make every company that had GMO products label that, but that did not pass, and it's probably not going to pass. So we need to go with the ones that aren't GMOs, have those people advertise it. I mean, not require it, because I don't believe that the government should really be involved in telling people what to do in the free market. But
less mandating.
Yes, less mandating, more competing. I
Right.
think the government should actually compete in the free market.
You know, I've talked about decriminalization of all drugs, CTAP, and I just, at this point, can't commit to that, but I would be open to discussion. If we could get 2/3 of this country to go on board with legalization of all drugs like Portugal did, I'd be amenable to it. I'd be amenable to anything 2/3 of this country wants. I truly believe that we could use this democracy to help mold our ideas, but we cannot rely on a 51% majority like the Democrats want to push for. It has to be a supermajority, 2/3, in order for it to be a successful plan for our country. Yes, way. Legalizing marijuana, however, is number one on my list. I want to legalize pot, make sure that all of us can grow it in our own homes if we want to use it personally, but if we want to sell it, we have to pay a tax, and the federal government would make that money back, and we would disperse it to the states. It would supersede any state taxes, and states would get money back on a per capita basis, so they all get something out of that.
Well, food is where the government needs to be involved, but not by telling the food producers what to do, but perhaps by actually growing the food ourselves as a government organization.
I want everyone to know that all the major networks have completely ignored our press releases, and we haven't had any offers from either Fox or CNN or any major network. I did get a ABC affiliate out to my house to interview me last summer, but she never played the tape because I looked too good. She was coming to the house to kind of attack me, and it didn't work for her, so they never played the tape.
Because you're so great on camera. You just came out with all the hit points that they couldn't
I guess so, yeah. They didn't
down to be negative.
They couldn't, yeah.
I mean, it's so much better to focus on the positive than on the negative.
Amy has a question that's not conspiracy related. It's about her intestines. She doesn't understand how to stop chronic constipation. Eat less cheese, Amy.
Less cheese, less bread, and potatoes, things that can bind you.
Less simple carbs.
Actually, what you also need to do is walk more, drink lots of fluids, drink Metamucil or fiber, and also eat lots of fiber. Salads, fruits, vegetables, all of those things will help you.
I want all of you to know, and many of you are not aware of it, but I am the one who's oftentimes breaks stories. Alex oftentimes follows and does a thing on YouTube. I'm not exploiting YouTube because YouTube has shut me down and censored me. They haven't censored Alex. They haven't censored a lot of people out there because basically the government that's running the backbone of our social networks, they don't want a political party to form. That changes the whole game plan for them.
A third party.
Especially a third party. They don't want a third party to form. So they're willing to get hits to Alex Jones or any other person. Even the Young Turks get a lot of hits, which is ridiculous. We saw a dramatic decline in our hits. I was getting 20,000 hits a week, down to 200 maybe across the board on my site now. In 2011, when they did the Penguin update, everything changed for us. So we no longer get any kind of exposure. This is called censorship.
Thank you, Blair. He said you should get more hits than other people.
I should.
For sure. Because you have so much intelligent things to say.
We've got a lot of things to talk about. And, the better it gets, you guys provide links. We take the links, like the one Scissorfight just brought in. Car companies say home repairs are legally problematic. Copyright restrictions. Wow.
I think you have to do some self-talk. Someone asked, how can I cure chronic anxiety? I, of course, am not a doctor. There are some cool things doctors can prescribe to you for anxiety. I've heard of some people have a Librium for anxiety. Yeah. But the thing is, if you don't take meds for anxiety, one of the things is self-talk. Everything will be okay. Breathe in, breathe out. It is what it is. You can't change the world, so just accept it. Those kinds of things. And also, I agree with Blair. Exercise and good music are also good for anxiety.
Exercise and music, yeah. Yeah. I use a technique. I spray water on my face whenever I'm feeling kind of, weird or kind of miserable. This is really helpful. If you carry a little spray bottle of water, fresh water, purified water, or whatever, you spray it on your face, you instantly get a normalized feeling. It's almost amazing how the face responds to that fresh water, especially on a hot day. So I would urge you to calm down with fresh water. Splash it on your face. It kind of changes your perspective.
If you can play an instrument or paint or gardening definitely also helps with anxiety for sure. Planting fruits and vegetables that you can then eat your fruits and vegetables to help with chronic constipation.
Yeah, so now we talked about how to deal with our mood levels, how to deal with your chronic constipation.
Smile, people. I mean, if you don't feel the happiest, try a smile on for size, and you'll be surprised how soon you'll actually start feeling better just putting on that smile, even if you don't feel it at first.
Yeah. So there's a lot of things in our atmosphere right now that are questionable. The chemtrail issue I talked about earlier is a serious problem. I'm trying to find the chemtrail link if I can. Yeah, it's not there. We are concerned that chemtrails are being distributed around the country, and we don't really know why. And I'm beginning to get Sarah to understand that chemtrails really are an issue. And I think I got her the other day when I sent her this picture. Let me give you guys a copy of it so you'll see it. It's a complete overview of the Pacific Coast, and I will show you what I'm talking about here. It's right here.
I
Aerial
really
photographs
personally
of Nationwide.
think you should try it 6415 and see the results. I think smiling, even in West Philly, I think, every once in a while, maybe just smile at the females first. But start smiling, and it's definitely going to be good.
Okay, businessman, thank you for that picture of Rahm Emanuel's.
But Blair,
nose
check
job.
out this picture.
Check this
I'm
out.
almost convinced about the chemtrails with this picture.
Yeah, look at this. This is an aerial photograph of
California.
California. Let me put it over here as Sarah was looking at it. I showed her this, and she said, wow.
Look at those X's off the coast of California right there.
And they're wondering why they have a drought in California. I mean, all those X's, those cross patterns. Yeah.
The thing is about those X's is that it's so far off the coast so that, no one's going to see it.
Right.
I mean, are they trying to push the natural cloud front north?
Yeah.
Or are they trying to see the clouds for California?
You see, the Washington State area is completely covered with clouds. We've had more rain in the past 2 years than in the history of the state of Washington. So all the water is moving north using this chemtrail pattern. They're able to do this. And these are tactics that the government doesn't seem to want to acknowledge publicly, but privately they acknowledge it. So these are hash marks of all the chemtrail activity in the country over a timetable. I mean, it's very heavy across the nation. You've seen them in Chicago. You've seen them in the southeast of the country. We see them in the Pacific Northwest. I think Sarah's doing okay. She's fine.
Yes, I'm perfectly fine.
Here's a chemtrail pilot that speaks out. I've seen that link. Thank you, Thank you for that, Scissor Fight. Yeah, a chemtrail pilot. They hire the best top guns in the country. As long as they're not married or have a girlfriend, they're potentially going to be used. Secret chemtrail pilot speaks on December 8th, 2014. I will look at that. Thank you for that link. Excellent. So they hire top guns that are not in any way affiliated with anybody. They don't know what they're really spraying. Yes, the government is controlling the weather, and they're making the drought in California, and they're doing it right under our nose. The chemtrails are everywhere besides California. They're pulling the water away from California, creating an artificial drought. And at the same time, the Rothschilds and the Rockefellers have joined to create a consortium to buy up the Sonoma County water rights. This is what they're doing. So these companies, the Rothschilds and Rockefellers control, will actually probably sell their cloud seeding ability to any one farmer who is really desperate for water. So say an almond tree farmer says, my trees are going to die, and these trees have been around for 25 years, I can't lose them. There's nothing natural about this drought that we're having. It's completely artificially created, and it's purposely designed to create a drought in California and areas in the Midwest. They are going after the most productive agricultural area this nation has because they want to control us with the short hairs. They want to grab us by the short hairs and say, okay, we got you. You Americans, you can't control this. We own you. And basically then they'll sell their cloud seeding operation to farmers that are desperate for $100,000. They'll get water on their farm. You see how this works? They can go in and specifically seed one area and precipitation will go to just that area. It takes a gallon per almond. Yeah, exactly. So water is the new oil, and the people that are the richest are trying to get on the ground level of this incredible bonanza they see as more and more power. You see, greed is infinite. There's no limit to greed. Okay, we will open the calls now. If you want to call in, feel free. You can say anything's fake. You can smile yourself into a happy mood. I know I did. When I first got these press-on veneers, I immediately felt better. It's like, wow, I can smile now. Yeah, that's right. Vaccines are population control in other countries. Absolutely. They were designed for that. Protein synthesis has been going on since 1997. It's a very advanced science, and they can create vaccines that will pretty much seed cancer cells in your body. Phone number is 707, your ATP, if you want to call into our show tonight. We will be putting together a radio show, but it's still in the works. I still can't seem to dial in on exactly how I'm going to do it, but thank you, Blairy. the '08 election was rigged for Obama. When he told Hillary Clinton in New Hampshire that he would never create mandatory health insurance, he outright lied to win New Hampshire, and that pretty much folded Hillary's campaign at that time. But the 012 was rigged too, and they used HAARP, High Frequency Active Auroral Research Project, to actually create Hurricane Sandy. I don't know if you guys remember, but 2 days before the 2012 election, Hurricane Sandy pretty much wasted the East Coast. Really? You're a very handsome man, but have a gap in your front teeth and never really smiled in your adult life. Well, you need to get these products that we bought. I bought
It's pretty cool.
Yeah, it's awesome.
I'm not wearing my pair right now, but
yeah, it's really go for it. Press on veneers. And there's other competitors now that may be cheaper than what we paid. HAARP is real. In fact, they've got an actual reapportionment of funds for HAARP. They just renewed their funds for $25 million a year to operate HAARP. Now, the hurricane was not natural. In fact, it's the only hurricane in the entire history of the East Coast that actually turned left and went into prevailing winds. Nope, no relationship whatsoever. This is gold, Dave. So damn funny. I know. And you need to promote those videos online, man. They're comedy gold. But I'm not getting any cross-linking from YouTube because of the obvious reasons they want to keep a third party from succeeding. I believe they did, yeah. Well, it's already reared its ugly head. You remember the Haitian earthquake that killed 350,000 Haitian people?
We limit some of our reality.
That was genocide. Wilmer.
So Earth Day is coming up. 2 days.
It's 2 days to Earth Day, yeah. We're celebrating in advance. The Jade Helm is something that at multiple levels could be a psyops, could be an actual pre-staging for martial law. We don't know. Go ahead. What's your question, sir?
Hi, Dave. I love Sarah's big...
Wilmer!
My big smile.
Big smile is wonderful. I know. She has just absolutely got the best smile. Thanks, Wilmer, for calling, and appreciate your call and your support. Okay. Yeah. You could make 420 your Earth Day if you want. Yeah. I am quick. I'm getting quicker, too. Thanks, Swiffer. Yeah, you can see those big rest-on veneers. Yeah, I used to have an issue with yellowing teeth. So I got these, and it corrects the problem. I don't have to, put peroxide all over my teeth and, constantly worry about it.
1, 2, 3.
We're not allowed to play that online. Yeah.
I'm not. I'll get rid of it.
Yeah, so drones are dropping acid rain on American people. Hey, Tracy, what's up? What's your question? Hi, what's your question?
They were quite a bit, Greg, but we bought 2 arches, so I bought a top arch for myself and a top arch for David, instead of a top arch and a bottom arch for myself.
Yeah, or for myself, for that matter. I just felt that the answers were clear, and we had to go with those answers.
ATP, Blair.
We got a legal wetback in here, folks. Go ahead. What's your question, legal wetback?
707 YOURATP.
You want to become a U.S. citizen, legal wetback? Yeah, he can't even bring himself to asking the question, let alone answering it. I can make I clean my own house.
Yeah, David cleans his own house.
I am the guy who does the cleanup here. Sarah is a full-time teacher, or actually part-time teacher, full-time activist. Thank you.
Well, I support Sponheim as a candidate. I build my own PC.
Yeah, press-on veneers are expensive.
Is running, so that's the person I'm supporting.
Sarah's been with me since the beginning of this party. She and I put this together. She's giving me a lot of support on a nightly basis, but because she's a K-8 teacher, she's got commitments and she has to constantly be there when she has that work. So obviously we do the show in our spare time. I have a lot of spare time because I retired. So I have the bulk of the show, and I've been doing it for the past 6 years. Thank you for asking. Well, the corruption in the White House is really bad. And the corruption throughout the country is really bad. But what are our alternatives but an honest president? Do we have any alternatives at all by working with a very stalwart Congress that's now the least productive Congress in history?
Yes, easy E. You would have to use +1.
I pull weeds. I do all the weed pulling, but Sarah's been known to go outside with a weed puller and do some weed pulling herself.
You're welcome, easy E. But it's very expensive calling long distance from Europe, so you don't have to do that.
I was an audio animatrized robotic presidential
easy.
candidate.
Right, not easy E.
What do you do before you retired? I was an audio animatronic robotic presidential candidate, and then I retired. So now I'm a real presidential candidate.
Yes, David is a presidential candidate.
The initial stages of my tryout period were excellent. I went through stage 12 of the testing process, and now it's completely fluid with very little downtime. I'm able to defrag my hard drive on a regular basis and not create a locked up bottleneck server.
Media Wallet, we do live in Washington State, so that's why sometimes it feels like we haven't seen the sun for many moons.
I stay out of the sun. We were out roofing the other day. Remember, we did our roofing on our house.
We've been slowly working on it.
We do one single slat of roofs, 20 of these roof tiles a week, and we went up there last Sunday, and we got out there, and it was sunny, and Sarah, the wind kept knocking the hat off. And I said, Sarah, you got to cover your skin. That's how you look young. I mean, you're looking so young for your age. Keeping the sun off your skin really helps. And so we got our hats back on, and we were good to go. But yeah, sunbathing can be very detrimental to your skin texture, and you can get a little quicker aging as a result of getting tan all the time.
There will be two fences so that the animals won't run into an electric fence.
We'll have humane animal guards for the lethal electric fence.
David is not considering running for governor on a Republican ticket. He would be running for governor on a third-party ticket.
I would probably be an independent if I ran for governor. I don't ever anticipate running as a Republican because I'm not a Republican. That's the last party I would join. And I'm not a Democrat anymore. So if I do get into the governor race, it'll be as an independent, no doubt.
Oh, okay. I do take vitamin D. Yes.
What would you do with no way to make a call or your guns are not effective?
We defend ourselves any way we can.
Why would guns not be effective? I don't get your logic there. Okay, no, I really, I think we're all looking good. Sarah takes added calcium and vitamin D, and I definitely get calcium, and I think we're doing really well for what was going on. This is my birthday month. I'll be turning 55 sometime in April. So it's kind of a cool turning point for me. I really feel like 55 is a major landmark where I really wanted to be a certain weight.
We do believe in diversity in our party.
Okay, we got Tech Walla calling in here. Tech Walla, hey, thank you, Meaty Wallet. Go ahead, Techie. So what's the story about Rahm Emanuel? Yeah, good night. Everyone. Thank you, Sarah. You were awesome, Sarah. Thank you so much. Tech Walla's coming to the show. He's going to talk to me. You have me at 65. Thanks, Hannah. That's sweet of you. I saw Rahm Emanuel. I'm going to put his picture on the... You sent me that link. I'm not really sure.
Yep.
It's pretty obvious he may have had a nose job.
Yeah, right.
Okay. Are you on, businessman?
I'm here.
Yeah, okay. This is the link you sent me to Rahm Emanuel and his nose job. I think you're right. Yeah, I think you're right. I think he's had a nose job. Good point. Any other questions?
Am I supposed to have a question?
Yeah.
I'm calling in with a great concern as to why we are having our fiat currency consistently go up while dropping precious metal prices. While like literally, I got killed. Like this last week, I got killed.
Really?
Well, not killed, but I mean like significant drop for
really?
Everything that I got for, and it's just like, come on, guy. It's just like the dollar is supposedly the most wanted currency in the world, and I don't get why.
Well, I can tell you there's like 10 different things propping up the dollar. One of them is our tremendous confidence in the dollar, and we are the largest consuming nation in the world, so that's a big part. Kitco is a good market reason. There's a Kitco is your silver is now at oh wow, you're saying it's down to $16. You're getting killed, yeah. Right. Well, silver and gold are both manipulated markets, and because there's paper silver and paper gold. Hello, can I help you?
Yeah, no, listen, dude, I kept on hearing beeps in the background while you were cutting in and out.
Yeah, you're probably being monitored by the NSA. They sometimes listen in.
Oh, hey, guys.
So why wouldn't you buy now at silver? Silver being at $16 an ounce, why wouldn't you be buying?
Well, you should be buying, but another concern is that Russia just stocked up on a bunch of gold. A lot. A big, large reserve.
Really? Okay,
yeah.
So they're found a reserve of gold, Russia did, or they just sold some gold? I didn't hear you right.
No, they purchased.
Oh, they purchased gold. Okay, yeah, they're going to leverage against their weakening oil prices. Hang on. Wow.
Dude, I hear like a and then you cut out.
Yeah, well, that's probably because I'm receiving phone calls. PayPal wants the very veins in your body to act as your password. Scissor fight. Wow. Yeah, well, I don't know. I mean, we've got a lot of strength going on. The dollar is the buoyant currency in an evolving, collapsing global market. Now, the reason why the dollar is still very buoyant is because we've got a lot backing it. We've got the strongest military in the world. We've got our greatest ally, Saudi Arabia, producing more oil than ever before. And the markets that you're investing in, the gold and silver markets, have been manipulated by the New York Mercantile Exchange for a long time. COMEX has had their own little currency thing going on. Morgan Stanley and JP Morgan frequently sells and buys massive amounts of paper silver and paper gold. That gives that whole volatility factor, it takes that away. So gold doesn't incrementally go up and silver doesn't incrementally go up like the people wanted it to go up because it's being altered. I don't know the answer to any long-term projections on silver, but I still think it's a good, solid investment. You're freaking out short-term, man. You need to relax. You're in this for the long haul. If you're thinking of making a quick turnaround in silver and gold, maybe you will have to be buying and selling on eBay or something, but honestly, you're in it for the long haul. I don't have a call hold button.
That's all market depending. That all depends on what everything is doing. I mean, just last night there was dealers out on eBay trying to push 5 Canadian 5 ounces of maple leaves for $92. Buy it now, right out the door, free shipping and everything.
Really? Well, that's $20 an ounce.
That's a very, very cheap deal. I mean, I just purchased this weekend on Friday.
Yeah.
Purchased 5 1-ounce bars from Johnson and Matthey at $91.01 for a lot of 5.
Yeah.
So,
right. We see we have haters in here that will trying to post their links while I'm not looking, and I can get them within about a second of them posting a link. That's interesting about PayPal. They forget about remembering passwords. They want us all to wear fingerprint apps. They want the veins in your body to act as your password. I don't trust this invasiveness. You know, fingerprint analysis.
Somebody in the room says they hit $1 over spot. Okay, that's cool if you buy 500 at a time.
Yeah, exactly.
Cool,
yeah.
man. I understand. Yeah, I'm a fool. Yeah.
Well, no. Whoa. You're not a fool, man. You are an investor. Big difference. You're not going to the casino and putting money in machines expecting a payoff. You're investing. Don't ever characterize yourself as a fool. Look, you'll turn them around a profit if you hold on to all of your rounds. You will. It'll eventually reap huge rewards. You just have to hang in there. I really believe that. But maybe not buying at the right time may have been your big afterthought.
No, I bought at the right time. Now is the time to buy. Regardless if you're paying at $15.50 a spot or $17.05, you're fine.
Okay, good.
You're fine. I mean, and that's based on all research and everything that I've been doing for like the last 5 months of my life before I even began purchasing.
Yeah. You know, at one point, Sarah bought a few rounds for like $40 a piece, just like one or two. Remember when it was around 50? Yeah, we bought it. She bought in just to get her feet wet at like $37, and luckily she didn't buy a lot at that time. So, but the attitude is if you buy a round every month or whatever, eventually it'll all average out, and you'll get the good and the bad of all the deals. You know, even that roofing material that we put on our roof. You know, I'm roofing this house to save $20,000, so I don't have to pay a roofer $20,000. And we bought that stuff normally $35 in the East Coast. We got it for $12 for a 20-pack of roofing material. $12. I mean, we save serious. Whenever you buy, look for the lowest cost, and you'll save a lot of money in the long run. And doing it yourself, DIY, is an incredible way to save money if you're fixing up your house, for real.
I've been purchasing anywhere from about 1 to 5 ounces per day.
Wow, that's a pretty fast clip.
Yeah, definitely, man. Definitely. So I've been, really watching what's happening. I got my Kitco going live, watching the foreign currencies and reading up on nonsense. I mean, even if you have to resort to the Russian website, I have a great article that I can send to you right now to the chat. Hold on 1 second here.
Wow.
This is a Russian publication by an expert that says that the dollar will fall significantly.
Right.
And it's only a matter of time up until this fall, because it's just all BS. It's like nothing but a fallacy. Expect precious metals prices to rise come about August, September. July might kind of start getting a little bit warm at about $18 a spot, but they're saying September should be pretty good.
Great. I heard September is when the martial law is going to kick in, and we'll all have massive rate increases on our gas. I don't know, man.
Yes, because the gas is going to go up. Exactly, yes. That's the forecast, too. Barrels of oil are going to go up, and precious metals are going to go up with it. So
martial law in July, Jimmy. Jimmy knows. Nice, that's perfect,
Jimmy,
Larry.
Ready for martial law, Jimmy?
Jimmy, are you going to go to the new Disney facility? The FEMA facility they're building there at Disney? No, don't run with that story, please, because I never ever heard of that story. I just made it up out of thin air. The problem is a lot of people who are fearful. Thanks, Swiffer. A lot of people that are fearful are freaking out, and then they're starting to spin off on stories about tunneling underneath the Walmarts. I have a story I have to bet tonight to look at that tunnel to see if it's legit. Somebody says they have a real story about people dying in Walmarts and disappearing. I mean, this is, at this point, non-verifiable. We're all a little concerned that this Walmart closure of 6 stores is for plumbing reasons is really something other than plumbing. Because how can 6 Walmarts come down with plumbing problems at the same time? It's absurd. So something's going on.
Don't disregard the Walgreens also too, because
Walgreens are a possible other plan. They're building those Walgreens so fast across the nation. They are like veritable citadels. They really are. They're locked down areas.
They hold a supply of everything, of medication, of first aid. They hold down a happy food supply. What they do, everything in cans and in bags, frozen. You got a bunch of soft drinks and everything, and you got the pharmacy, most important, and that's it.
Right. So they got everything all in house at the Walmarts and Walgreens. I'm a little concerned that. We're talking about this. If the dollar will fall substantially, James Turks, precious metal expert, talks about what's going to happen. It's going to face trouble this autumn, the dollar is, and according to Turk, there are a couple of reasons for this. International Monetary Fund recalculates the special drawing rights every fight years. See, that's a misspelling right there. The Chinese have taken every effort over the last 5 years to include the SDR, the special drawing rights, when the next rewriting comes in September and October. China may move away from our currency and create other Asian institutions like the Asian Infrastructure Investment Bank. Good point. Okay, let me take that other call. I doubt a lot of people are investing. I I doubt a lot of people are investing. Thank you, Bob Button. All right, so many people are concerned about where they're going to hedge their investments. Are you still on, businessman?
I am.
Okay.
Yep.
A lot of people, I have to tell you, if you don't have food storage, you need to start stocking up on low-cost food. And even things that are in cans, ready to eat, like peanut butter and tuna fish and chicken. Your family will love you for it if there's a disaster.
As long as there's like a 2-year or 1-year limit on it, you're fine. Because, I mean, you're going to eat it by the year, so you're not really wasting money on food that's going to go to garbage.
Yeah, but even after 5 years, I'm eating canned food right now from Y2K that's still okay. 15, 16-year-old canned food. I'm already doing that, and it's fine. I can eat it.
16-year-old canned food. Are you You're out of your fucking mind, dude. Are you kidding me?
No, we frequently pull out a can.
You mean to tell me I can eat chili from like '94, Chef Boyardee?
No, chili will probably blow up. If the can is starting to pop, then you know it's bad. You know, there's some serious illnesses you can get from a can that's been popped. You don't want to get into that can, but like tomato sauces will pop after 15 years. I've seen it happening. Peanuts stay really well. I have peanut butter right now in my cupboard from 1985, organic peanut butter, that I can still open up and I can still eat, and it tastes just as good as it did then. I'm serious. When the oil separates, it holds a lock on the food. It's completely sealed, and I've rehydrated or mixed them up with the oil. It's just absolutely incredible. I'm serious. 1985, yes way. I got a can of survival food right now from 1957. I'll show it to you.
You see, they keep raising the value of the dollar. We're up, ever since this next opening trading day. We're up 0.15%, and it's just like, what the frick, man? We're at 98.04.
Yeah. Okay, we're there, man. This is a survival kit that was built in 1957. It's still fully stocked with everything in it. It was made in Utah. I guess the Mormons were producing this at one time. I picked it up at a recycler, and it's got all the original food in it. Even the book, Staying Alive. Staying Alive. Ooh,
eat it, David.
Staying alive.
Come on, dude. Open up a cracker or something.
It still smells like Carnation instant milk. I'm serious. I'll bet I could probably rehydrate this stuff. 1957.
What?
Seriously. I could. I've even got tissues. Original Kleenex tissues from 1957.
If I made a donation to AP for you to drink that Carnation milk, would you do it?
You know, at this point, dude, you need to worry about your silver purchases. The focus on that. Now,
well, you say it's so good. So if it's so good, why wouldn't you take a donation?
This is totally
Carnation milk.
This is insane. Can you show the coffee beans you got from Starbucks? No, they're out in the garden. Okay.
Oh.
I've been getting free coffee from Starbucks because they go through their collection and put in a bag and say, yeah, if it's already been used, they send it to the garden. And I pick it up, and I've got 20 bags of coffee outside in my garden. But you can reuse those coffee bags. There's still coffee in them. You can rebrew Starbucks coffee. All right, so yeah, this is something I would not eat this. This is I wouldn't eat.
Or no?
Huh? What?
Do you still have that kit for sale?
I do. It was $125 the last I checked it.
Dude, you raised it. It used to be $50, man.
No. I started out at $700 when I had it on our site. Look at, man, I plan on selling this somehow, but nobody really wants a collectible tin of 1957 food storage. So I've got maple syrup in here that I'd probably eat. Yeah. It's rehydratable. Yeah. Powdered maple syrup is not easy to come by. You'd eat that for the money, though? Yeah. Well, I'm not doing things for money, man. If you want to get behind our program, it's not because I'm going to eat some food. It's because you support our ideas. My eating habits are not disturbing. I bought shrimp yesterday. I got bags of shrimp for $2.50, frozen, from Vietnam, farm raised. I got a big bag of shrimp, $2.25 actually. I got 4 bags of this for unbelievably low price because I'm out there looking for all the deals, and I want everyone to know that they need to stock up on food. You really do. If you haven't built a supply in your closet, get started right now, all of you. I don't think DT Laura is harassing anybody. I've read her chat. It's fine. Thank you, DT Laura. Yeah, maple syrup, dehydrated maple syrup is called maple syrup. They sent tons of that back to England when Canada was first settled. Yeah. And it rehydrates pretty quickly. I even bought the maple syrup flavoring enhancement where you can actually make your own maple syrup with sugar and water if you really are hurting and you're a prepper. So I'm all prepared, man. We've been prepared since Y2K. Sarah and I met in 1998, and we just said, yeah, let's build up some food supplies. We did that. We bought a few items that we needed for water and whatnot, and you just keep it going, and you have to rotate it. Admittedly, I am at the last end of my Y2K supply of food. I am eating the last few cans of pork and beans.
Hey, what about those survival kits that saw on the Alex Jones show?
You know, those are all kind of gimmicky. Ironically, you can buy really good survival kits at Wally World. After you get into the FEMA section and get into the Underground Railroad, they'll sell you all those. No, I'm just kidding. But no.
I got a good one for you. The best way you can compile a survival kit the same way the food preparation kit that the Alex Jones has it is just simply go to Walmart, buy a bucket, and fill a whole bunch of shit and macaroni and cheese that has a poisonous dye, which is going to be removed starting 2016. By the way, David, I don't know if you knew that.
I didn't know that poisonous dye was removed.
Yeah. And that's it. No, they're removing the dye for health concerns. That they don't want to have any, preservatives and additives in the macaroni and cheese. That's crap away.
Yeah, I'm glad. I'm glad. They're also phasing out certain non-stick items on your pans that should have been phased out a long time ago. A lot of that non-stick material is carcinogenic, and I think they're going to phase out a lot of non-stick pans by 2016. Walmart is working with the Department of Homeland Security. We heard that from Janet Napolitano all those times, and we know that that's what they're up to. But we don't know how deep their involvement is, and if you are concerned that they're creating detention centers at Walmarts, I'm concerned too. I really am.
I don't think you need non-stick pans. If you actually know how to cook and to maintain a skillet, you don't need non-stick unless you're an idiot that's really broiling the freak out of whatever the hell you're cooking.
Yeah. You can get a generator for as low as $125 right now in America. Somebody said Google Walmart bunkers in Arkansas. I did, and yeah, Little Rock, Arkansas has a massive underground facility, and part of it is a home for the Walton family. Yes. No kids, just having fun. That's right. A lot of people are just having fun instead of having kids. Do you know that some places
what it is the Walton family, they have their own underground little thing there underneath all the facilities.
Yeah, they do. That's my point. Okay, power backup. I'm going to take you to heartlandamerica.com and see what they have. There's a great retailer that gets generators down to $125. If you guys are worried about a generator, let me see if I can find you one here. Yeah, generator. They have a Whisper Quiet one that I was looking at for $125 shipped. Well, Honda generators are great.
I got to do some trading, dude.
All right, take care, man.
Another inquiry. I got to talk.
Okay, bye-bye. Thanks for calling. Bye-bye. Okay, we've got another inquiry. So we are available for calls here. Yeah, here you go. $129. A 950-watt generator. I'll bring it into the show so you can look at it. You want a survival package? This would be part of my closet, not my closet, but my backup system. Look at that. 950 watt generator. It'll keep your refrigerator and some basic lights and charging units going. For $129. Heartland America. Denzel calling me. Yeah, it's a piece of crap, but it's still worth $125. Okay, go ahead, Denzel. What's up? Is this Denzel Washington? Okay, sorry.
My name is not Denzel. My name is Dan Tastic in the chat room.
Oh, Dantastic. Okay. Hi, Dantastic. Okay.
I got a couple questions.
Yeah. I'm all ears.
Okay, if the United States ever goes through a second revolution, do you think it will be a good thing or a bad thing?
If our country ever goes for a separation, what do you mean?
No, second revolution.
Oh, well, we are already going to have a second revolution. It'll be called a third party, and it'll be a nonviolent transition. I don't believe it's going to be violent. If it is, then we really got a bigger problem on our hands. That's exactly what the elitists want. They want the American people to freak out. That's why we get all these false flags and endless cover-ups from the government, because they want us to be pushed to the edge where we're going to go, ballistic. But most level-headed Americans are just going to realize we need a new political party. We need to work through the very system that was created by our ancestors to create a revolution. I mean, Thomas Jefferson said that we needed a revolution every new generation. So people knew, and at that time, the founders of our nation knew we would be going through some changes, so they set up a rule and a possibility through election law to do that. The problem is election law is so complicated for most people, they don't even want to bother. And they've dumbed all of us down to the point where we're like, oh, whatever. So this apathy is really the real problem in America, and it's not going to be solved with people just talking about the two parties solving everything. So word of mouth, the awareness that the internet is generating will combine to create an incredible, powerful new political party that will challenge the very ground that the two parties are standing on right now. And we will see that revolution.
We'll see, right? We'll see. When Ron Paul was running for president, he says that it is next to impossible to balance the budget because of how in debt we are. So if
the biggest problem.
We should go through a revolution and restore the Constitution. Do you think it'd be next to impossible to balance the budget if you were to run for president for the next 8 years?
I believe that we could actually erase the debt, portions of the debt that was created under the United States Corporation. We could begin to dissolve the Federal Reserve, retire their charter, which is an essential effort to get our own solvency back to our nation and rebuild the power and the strength of the dollar. And we also, all right, thank you. Well, we got a 900 peak hour one for $119 on Harbor Freight. It's the same one I was just looking at. These things are whisper quiet. I've heard people run them at all kinds of carnivals and things, and you can barely even hear them. I mean, really, you call them crap, they work. Test them out. At worst case scenarios, you can take them back, It's 900 peak hours, peak watts. It's not that great, but it'll run your refrigerator and a few lights, maybe a space heater and a couple lights. They're very quiet, yeah, and they're very efficient too. All right, so what Ron Paul is concerned about is, and it's really ironic because he refused to leave the Republican Party. He's concerned about a revolution starting to resolve all these problems when we really just need a third party. And it's ironic that Ron Paul didn't run under the Americans Elect group, which he had an opportunity to do. But all the Ron Paul supporters pulled out of a third party chance in 2012. We were right there and we couldn't believe it. They all just pulled right out. They had a chance to change it and to have that revolution in 2012, but they didn't seize the opportunity. And of all the people, he had the most press coverage, so he had the most opportunity. Well, a decent generator should be a propane generator. And yeah, you should spend a couple grand, no question about it. I'm talking to people who just want to keep their refrigerator going in the event of a disaster, okay? It's that simple. You got to keep that fridge going until that food is eaten up. And then you're okay. Then you can start to live on pine needles or whatever else you find on the ground to eat. You know that people lived on pine needles during the Ming Dynasty collapse?
Hey, Dave, it's Mike.
Okay.
To add this caller, I'm sorry, I didn't catch that. To accept, press 1. To send a voicemail, press 2. I'm sorry, I didn't catch that. To accept, press 1.
Okay, we've got Mike on the phone now. Go ahead, Mike. What's your question?
Hey, Dave. Let me just mute your screen here so I don't get a lot of feedback for you.
Right.
I just wanted to, isn't that background, is that a Doctor Who background? I just don't want you to get into a copyright
type of a deal or a
Oh, yeah.
infringement. I'm pretty sure.
It is a Doctor Who background? I don't know. I mean, you're asking me a question I don't know the answer to. If I knew it was a Doctor Who background, I wouldn't have put it out there. Yeah, thanks. Okay, appreciate the call.
Where's your gaming show?
The gaming show goes on right before our regular show. It's a pre-show. So we go in there every single day at 4 p.m. and start our pre-show at Cool Rock Party, which is the CRP network on Vaughn. And then at 5 o'clock, we start the third-party show. And then it has a little gaming in it, because we're already on Twitch for about an hour at that time. So, thanks for the tip, though.
Is your Twitch channel not working anymore?
Oh yeah, it's totally working. Everything's fine on Twitch. We had a one-day layoff because we accidentally left our political show running during that show. It's free wallpaper, Scissor Fight says. Thank you, Scissor Fight. Okay, any other questions?
Thanks for the time.
Thanks for your questions. Appreciate it. Take care. All right. Great. Aiken County Sheriff. Why am I looking at that, Mad Dog? They're pledging to serve us. Thank you, Aiken County. Well, we'll protect the people by info or means of preparation. You be noticed, and the PP will give back. Thank you. PP, what's PP? Was that you, Hannah? Your voice is getting deeper. Did you stop your sex change drugs? Are you on that Michelle cocktail to keep your nipples all erect? For transgenders, it's difficult to get that look. ISPN is toying with cannibalism. ISPN, are you pre-cannibalistic? Sounds a little weird. You're saying you're voting for the Donner Party in 2016. Yeah, veterans we need to save our veterans too. All right. That's the problem with Barack Obama. He's trying to cut the salaries of our military or retirement pay by 20%. I'll give you one more try, Legal Wetback. Go ahead, Legal Wetback. What's your question?
Well, I'm Scary Scarecrow.
Oh, Scary Scarecrow. Okay. What's your concern, Mr. Legal Wetback? Yeah.
Well, it's about what you spoke about, the revolution.
Yeah.
I don't think it's going to be a peaceful revolution, like you say, and
really,
I think it's going to be very, very brutal. I don't know if you ever heard of the. Okay, let me tell you a little bit, and then you respond. Okay.
Sure.
I don't know if you ever heard of the psychic twins, but they predicted 9/11, and they informed the government, and the government said no to them, and it happened. And now they're predicting a revolution. They said it's going to be ugly.
Yeah.
But at the same time, the Native Americans said that they were going to help us and learn how to eat, like I put there. They were going to teach us how to survive in the wild, get food and everything. So they're going to play a role on it. What's your say on that?
We can learn a lot from Native American people. They were living in peace with the environment for centuries before the white men came. And I must say that I have Native American blood in me, so I have a certain concern for their plight. But they truly can teach Americans how to live in peace with the land. What we've done is we've allowed greed and corruption and industrial leaders to destroy the earth, and ultimately will destroy everything that we know and love as America. So we as Americans must enlighten each other and make this growing awareness everywhere so that we can start to talk about building this political party to stop this and to get good stewardship of this planet, because we don't have good stewardship of this planet currently. We've got Monsanto producing GMOs, which we know affects the immune system and alters the environment drastically. It affects the food chain big time. We've got chemtrails in our skies, which we know are causing unbelievable havoc in the atmosphere, which is leading to the drought in California. And this is a fact. Chemtrails are a fact. It's not even a theory anymore. They really are spraying in our atmosphere without our approval whatsoever. And the military is working with FEMA, building a plan to implement a large-scale takedown of our rights and freedoms in the event of a martial law scenario. So when you guys talk about this coming revolution and the psychic twins that came up with this, they weren't the only ones that predicted 9/11. Bill Cooper did. He's dead. The psychic twins are alive. Bill Cooper predicted the entire plan, 9/11, the whole World Trade Center attack, and he was killed. But the psychic twins are alive. So you've got to ask yourself, are the psychic twins on the inside of the story? Are they getting information on the inside of the story?
No, they actually try to destroy them. Honestly, they
Really?
put a celebrity to try to destroy them. They lost a lot of publicity. They're making them look like crap. I'm being honest.
No. I appreciate that.
Yeah. You know, they're continuing to predict things that they see, and they're very accurate. They're not in it at all.
Okay, then I'm reserving judgment with them. I believe that people can be psychic, and if they are of the belief that this will be a violent and bloody revolution, they're not necessarily part of the problem, but by fanning the flame of fear, you become part of the problem, and you awaken this beast of violence that could very well be exactly what the elitists want. They want to implement a plan.
Let me explain to you. I was already in a country where we had a police state, okay? I can tell you how it's going to go down.
Go ahead.
I was actually in Central America, and I saw when it turned into a police state trying to control the people, okay? If you know anything, since I know you were probably around Ronald Reagan's time,
yeah,
I was actually living in Central America when he got involved, okay? And we went into police state. We went into that stage.
I know you did.
I mean, I can show you, there's YouTube videos about it. You see university kids getting shot by police.
I've heard of the torture, too. Yeah, I've heard of the torture.
You want to see a police state? There you go.
Yeah. But you've got a little problem there. Where was this, in Guatemala?
Guatemala, all of Central America.
Yeah.
All of it. El Salvador, Guatemala, Nicaragua, all of Central America.
I know, and all the Central American nations are small and homogeneous populations, mostly, of the same groups of people that can be controlled. We are in a nation with massive amounts of land, lots of space for people to hide, with a national level of gun ownership reaching over 500,000 guns that are registered.
Yes.
You don't necessarily see that happening in Central America, man. I'm telling you, there's a reason why we have a Second Amendment protecting our rights to bear arms, is to prevent a major takeover of our nation by a junta state.
That's why I became an American citizen. That is the reason why I became an American citizen, because in the country I was in, it was in Central America, it was not allowed to own guns. We had no constitutional rights. They abused the people's rights. They treated the farmers like crap.
Yeah.
See, it's happening here now. They're treating the farmers like crap. That's what they did. They went to the farmers and they started hunting them down for no reason.
I know.
They were just giving us food.
You were suffering from an economic hit which was perpetrated from this country. Your country, all the Central American nations were hit economically, and we sent CIA agents down there covertly to train your soldiers to covertly torture people.
Oh, yes.
Yeah, I know.
I actually spoke with a Marine who was sent there, and he told me the truth before he died. He was actually somebody I knew because of my job. I was able to talk to a lot of people, and he told me himself, yeah, I got sent to Central America, and I was training people there to fight against your people. He told me straightforward.
Yeah, I know. It's bad.
I mean...
And you're right. It could happen here under those circumstances, but the American people are pretty much dumbed down and neutralized with a tremendous amount of methodology in play here. Fluoridation of our water lowers our resistance, makes us kind of like willing, complacent victims, but it doesn't turn us into violent overthrowers of government. It makes us into mush brains. No. I'm just telling you that's what's happening.
Yeah, the revolution is not going to be an overthrowing of government. It's going to be a defending of the people.
Maybe so.
I know
yeah.
that.
Maybe
We're
so.
We're going to protect ourselves from tyranny. That's basically how it's going to be. We're not going to go over there and try to overthrow. That's what happened in Central America too. If the people didn't stand up against the government stood up against the people, and then the people fought back. It was self-defense.
Yeah. Yeah, well, this is a true story you're describing, and it really did happen in small countries.
There.
I know.
I was there. I can show you videos. I saw people getting shot. I saw bodies on the floor. It's like, the soldiers coming from Afghanistan. People are like, they were never there. They were there in the war.
Yeah, I know. They were there, and they were part of the plan to take your country down and become part of their bigger picture. They want to control all the countries in the world, and they want to use their power, these elitists, to buy up all the central banks of every country in the world, and then control everybody by controlling our purse strings. Live by farms, raise food, be good to your neighbors, right?
Yeah. The Native Americans, they're going to help us a lot. We got to have a lot of respect for them. They're going to help us from the very beginning how to eat like before, how to survive on our own.
Mm-hmm.
Because we're so dumbed down to having everything given to us by the corporations that we don't even know how to live on our own anymore.
I know.
We don't know how to survive.
I know, and there are a lot of people in the Native American tribal lands that don't even understand what their grandfathers and great-grandfathers knew. So there are people carrying the message through folklore and carrying the message about how to live, know the plants that are necessary to live with, to make yourself strong, build your immune system. So I really believe that we're going to have a reckoning, and a third party is the way to do this. We're going to have a gathering of like-minded people that will challenge the brainwashed majorities, and they'll become minorities at that point. And the majority of people, won't matter what our ethnicity is. We'll all be on the same page. We'll want to make a better country and not give corporations unlimited control, and not give a police state a chance to exist. There's no reason for us to have fencing around FEMA camps in this country. And one of my moves is to remove all the fencing around the FEMA camps. And that's a goal to strengthen our nation, at the same time ultimately providing safety to the people that are living here. There is a tremendous threat from the South with the overpopulation growth in those countries. People will want to come up to America, and it's going to be a massive flow of people crossing our border. And I don't want to see a massive culling at the border with machine guns. I mean, can you only imagine how terrible that would be? But you know something, Barack Obama would probably invite them all in to weaken our country completely and not make legal citizens out of people like you. He'd want to just completely weaken our country. So I've talked to people, second and third generation Latinos, that actually don't want an open border. They want to protect what they've fought hard to be, an American citizen, and they don't want to give it away. So the Latino vote may very well go to the person with the best plan, with good, solid plans for immigration and border control at the same time. And that would be me.
But I'll tell you that.
Sure.
But this is the truth. Why I became an American is because the people in these countries, they're so corrupt.
Yeah, I know.
You go below America, they're so corrupt that you can be a university student in the best university and still be working as a cashier. Like it's happening here.
Mm-hmm.
It's happening here already. And
it is.
People don't believe it. They're in La La Land.
Yeah.
They don't believe it, and I've already seen it.
And you've seen it, and you can carry that truth forward and make people aware of what's coming. You're right.
Yeah, I don't want people to be scared. I want them to be prepared.
Be prepared, right. Absolutely.
Get water, get food, learn little things to survive, even though it's the smallest thing. Believe me, you'll help. I remember when we had a big earthquake and we were still in war. We would sleep outside, but we knew we would share our food. We would share our fire. I remember those days. We were outside sleeping, and we were in the middle of war.
I don't know a lot of sites like Heartland America. Ironically, it's one of the best ones I've ever seen. Heartland America sends you catalogs regularly. I mean, they really are moving product. I've had a lot of great deals there myself. I can only recommend them as a shopping point. American-made company with good product value. All right.
Yeah, that's good. That's good.
Yeah. So we are aware that if we don't realize that these corrupt people have one thing in mind, and that's ultimately taking our country and destroying it, then we're completely vulnerable to them. And we must be aware that these rich people who live outside of our nation are sovereign individuals. They don't have any reason to keep a lot of people around. They really don't. And they have the means to get rid of a lot of people. So if they've got the modus operandi to get rid of a lot of people and commit genocide, these people are going to do it. And if you believe that the 9/11 attack was an attack from within our country, an inside job, then surely they've committed genocide already. If you think that's true, if you really believe that is true. We'll talk about that tomorrow on Truth Tuesday, because we have to take on a whole night to deal with the 9/11 situation, because it's so in depth and there's so much evidence that suggests that it was a demolition. So I'll talk about that tomorrow night.
Can I just talk about one more thing?
Yeah.
About your campaign, though. Okay. I do like your campaign. I think it's great. I mean, you're right. Democrats and Republicans, they're controlling the whole thing.
Yeah.
It's not right to do that. We should have somebody that's like, separation of powers like we have in the government.
Yeah.
We need something that keeps us in track. And the problem is this, I'm going to be honest, is because the media is manipulated, everything's being so manipulated right now. I feel it now, okay, and I haven't even voted yet. It's going to be my very first vote. And I want a third party. I want something different. Not a third party, but something different that's not Democrat or Republican. That's something that's about America. And you feel that pressure when you go vote. When you think about voting, you feel it. Yeah. You feel like, damn, I don't want my vote to go to waste.
Yeah.
And I'm just being truly honest with you. I'm not trying to demote you or whatever. I'm just telling you the truth. You feel like, damn, I don't want to put my vote where I know it's not going to count.
Yeah, well, you're going to have a choice between Tweedledee and Tweedledum if you vote for the Democrats or Republicans. Either Jeb Bush, either Hillary Clinton or Jeb Bush are going to be both the same. They support the same corporate structure. So by splitting the vote three ways, wherever you put your vote, you're actually making a bigger statement. You're actually saying, hey, yeah, I will not accept whatever they're putting in front of me. I want something out of the box. I want something different. This is a problem we've been facing every single election. We see the same people running in the same elections. Even John McCain wants to run again. John McCain, Mr. Straight Talk Express,
It's like a fixed fight, those fixed fights that you know who's going to win and who's going to lose.
Exactly.
It's like that now. It's like you already know who's going to win, so they bet on it.
It is. And we've been taking that challenge on for 6.5 years now. We've known that we were completely censored from the mainstream media. I've had affiliates of the ABC come to my door, interview me, and then not play the video because I look too good. They want to make fun of me. They want to call me names. They don't want to make me into anything real. I do not like Scott Walker. I believe that he's working for the Koch brothers. Thank you. Go ahead.
You need to expose yourself. I don't care how annoying you get. You need to just fight. Like YouTube, they're going to ban you. Keep making YouTube accounts. Just do it. I mean, you got to be annoying. It's like in business. You think business people get good just, okay, they don't want me. No, you got to be persistent, like to the point where it's annoying. And that's just the truth.
We are constantly, but we rely a lot on you people. Because if without the word of mouth and talking about us, we wouldn't have all these people in the chat room every night. Without people mentioning that there is a third party growing in America and people should really look at it because it's a centrist party. It's right in the middle of the political spectrum. We're more like everybody than any of the two parties now. We want to get out of war. We want to bring our troops home and protect our borders. We want more opportunity for Americans and American products and American jobs. We haven't seen any growth in the production area in American jobs for creating American products. We haven't seen a living wage implemented by Barack Obama. He keeps talking about raising the minimum wage. I've got a plan to create a higher wage, a living wage, at the infrastructure bank that we want to build to trigger growth in America. We don't want to charge a lot. We don't want to give that money off to big bankers and Wall Street executives like every other idea is. We want to go direct to the Treasury right out of the discount window of 2% and offer that loan directly to U.S. businesses to hire U.S. citizens at a living wage of $15 an hour. You're going to see growth in our private sector. You're going to see opportunities start to open up in markets. And when I legalize marijuana, you're going to see a huge amount of economic growth across the nation. Everyone will start to see this as a big, huge win for this country. And we could even export products made out of hemp or cannabis. This is going to be a big, big growth for America. I can feel it. We're going to revive our agriculture. We're going to bring our agriculture into the modern times by getting rid of chemical pollutants and pesticides and herbicides and integrate with the environment and produce a general non-toxic solution for fertilization where we mix fertilizers from animal waste that we currently have in the animal industry that we're dumping into rivers and poisoning the ground. So we're going to process everything properly so we do build a stronger soil that will resist a drought. And I'm going to stop all the chemtrails that are going on around the country. As executive order, I will be pulling the chemtrails down, and I will stop the fluoridation of our water system. If you want fluoride, there's plenty of toothpaste out there. You can apply it to your teeth directly. There's no reason for us to have fluoride in our water system. Hitler had it during World War II and prior, and he basically pacified an entire population by fluoridating their water. That's why the Germans were so passive when ethnic minorities were being carted off to death centers. So it's happened before in history, 70 years ago in Germany. Down in Guatemala and Central America, it's happened recently. We've got a person on the phone that's admitted it. They are planning on destroying our nation. And we need to get back to what really matters. Strengthening our agriculture, building American jobs, and stopping the power of the corporate elitists. I'm willing to risk my life for this. That's how serious I am about this.
That's what I'm looking for too. You know, I'm tired of the Federal Reserve. They're like screwing people over.
Yeah.
They're putting them in debt, and debt is the new slavery. You know, you got to get rid of that beast. Got to get rid of it. The Federal Reserve, all these people that are controlling everything that's good for us, poisoning us. Notice that Americans here get fat, but when they go to other countries where they eat normal food, they get skinny.
Yeah.
That tells you that the food here is toxic, it's poison. You got to be careful what you eat now. You got to eat more fruits, vegetables, and stuff.
Absolutely.
And that's all because of the elite. The elite are controlling everything.
That's right. And they're trying to ruin our immune system. That's why they had that article, that excellent scientific work that was done on a journal on toxicology, removed because the Monsanto Corporation did not want anyone to know that GMOs cause tumors in laboratory animals, in rats, GMO rats.
Yep.
I can show you a picture of these GMO rats right now. It got all over the news, and the Monsanto immediately had the toxicology review refute the article, claiming that the science was inaccurate, on grounds that the guy only used 50 rats as opposed to 200, and that the rats were tumor-producing rats. But the reality is, the tumors that they produced happened with GMOs, not with normal food. So, I mean, you can't just throw that information out. That's solid. I mean, a tumor-producing rat produced tumors when induced with GMOs. When no GMOs were present, had no tumors. Roundup is also part of the problem.
People,
yes, thank you, Ben.
A lot of people that go to the doctors, they have tumors.
Yeah.
And that's why, because of the GMOs, this is happening to the people already. It's not shock. Now the MD website says, oh, if you have a bump on your body and blah, 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 it may be a tumor. And it's happening to the rats because they already know what's going on. It's a profit healthcare.
Yep. For profit. This news just came in from guest 922. I'll repost it. David Cook says family might personally contribute to Stop Water's campaign, but their organizational network would remain neutral until a Republican nominee emerges from the primary. What a joke. Exactly. They're buying the Republican Party. This is exactly why we need a completely non-biased, objective, centrist party that will represent the American people, not corporate interests. Thank you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, David, I'll let you go. Keep on the good fight.
Thank you, man.
You or anybody who's against the Republican Democrat control of America.
Thank you so much for calling. I really appreciated that call. Take care, man. Bye-bye. Yep. So even people that are new citizens who earn citizenship understand what we're going through and how important it is to keep our nation together, not with an open border like the Democrats and Republicans want, not with our troops being delivered all around God's little acre, causing wars and fighting unknown enemies that they make up out of thin air like ISIS. And this talk about a camp down near El Paso, an ISIS camp on the Mexico side, I seriously wouldn't doubt that these people are paid mercenaries. They're down there trying to create the fear factor that the American people fall victim of. Whenever we fear terrorism, we then fund war and then seed the corporations with more and more of your tax dollars. They're running out of credit. The FEC, or excuse me, the Federal Reserve has tapped out of their credit. They can no longer borrow. You've seen it In the past 5 months, Janet Yellen has not been able to make any more payments on the mortgage-backed securities. We now see a stall pattern at the Federal Reserve. There's talk about raising interest rates, but never really any real interest rates increase. Janet Yellen is worried, and the Fed is in deep doo-doo. Gloria, that's not you. It's Gloria. You're Vagine. It's the same voice as Vagine. Is this your name, Vagine, or Gloria? Hi, this is Vagine. It's the same voice, Gloria. You can't change your voice. All right, Sarah's in for just a bit. So, yeah, we're here, and I don't want to look at rats while I'm talking to Sarah because
GMO rats.
You know, we are trying to buy non-GMO whenever we can. We've been
whenever
shopping.
we can. David always looks for non-GMO.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't take Lenny's calls either. So either Lenny or Vagine, I know it's the same person, and we know who that is. So you can't hide yourself anymore, Rodney. Your voice is detectable. Okay, according to the New York Times, David did gathering GOP, want Walker in the White House. Yeah, they want Scott Walker because they know that he'll be sensitive to the corporate tax dollars that are so important to Republicans.
I'm not a grape nuts fan, I have to say.
I don't want to give corporate tax breaks, thank you. Frederick, that's a little bit more realistic. Okay, Frederick, what's your question? Hi.
Okay, Frederick. Well, I wanted to actually speak about Hillary and her moving into Brooklyn, New York, and the impact that it's going to take on your cop.
There are no cops in Brooklyn, New York that will be impacted when Hillary moves there. If you feel that it will affect a cop in your neighborhood, ask your doctor. You know, maybe that's what you should do. Okay, don't listen, Dave. Don't listen to Dave, Sarah. Vaccines save lives, and GMOs are perfectly fine.
Wool comes from sheep.
Well, good. I'm glad you called in. Are you a representative of Monsanto or a Baxter Labs or GlaxoSmithKline? Which corporation are you working for? Guess 456. They probably have people calling in on chat rooms to try to verify that everything's fine. Just accept the blue pill and everything will be fine. Do I have garlic breath? Because I did have a little garlic. I made some shrimp dip. I got $1 bag of shrimp, and I put it in with yogurt, non-fat yogurt, and a little mayonnaise and some dill weed and onions, and I made some great shrimp dip. I put a little garlic in it too. No, that doesn't sound serious. Well, we're going to not take calls if you guys aren't going to be serious. I don't eat expired seafood. I got this bag of seafood at the dollar store, and it was frozen. So I put it in the dip, and I essentially run it for a day before you got to let the thing set up. Don't get a shrimp dip and eat it right away. You got to let it sit overnight. It's the best, I'm telling you. Oh, you've got a beautiful collectible coin there on eBay. 1 ounce silver coin. What's the cost?
Are you selling or looking to buy?
Are you selling? Or is this something you're selling, everyone? $19.50. Yes, I can. That's hilarious. Look at this. Yes, I can. Let's be clear. That is funny. Look at that. Yes, I can. Is that like a New World Order pen, or
I don't know. It says 7 shields of Obama.
It looks like the Dark Horseman of the Apocalypse. Yeah.
I would refuse to drink Roundup.
Yeah. You know, I'm going to ask 52 to calm down. Stop attacking DT Laura. She's a big supporter of our show.
Breathe.
You know, I saw that, Bengalitis, a lobbyist refused to drink Roundup. Kind of funny. Can you blame him?
I have such a funny piece of video here for you of a lobby.
Okay. Go ahead.
That's carcinogen.
Regularly. tell the truth.
It's not dangerous to humans. No, it's not.
So are you ready to drink one glass of
No,
life?
I'm not an idiot. Interview me about golden.
So it's safe to drink, but he won't drink it because he's not an idiot. This is not Sally, Gordon Liddy, and my name isn't Davis. What is it with the aging population? They keep getting our names wrong. Everyone calls you Sally whenever they get old. I know my dad did. My dad got really old. He says, "Tell Sally." Dad, is Sarah.
Susan?
Oh, Susan, I'm sorry. It's Sarah, Dad.
Someone?
It's not Sally. And I'm not Davis. I'm David. Sell Sally by the seashore. Could this spell trouble for Monsanto? This guy has a good solution. Let's hope Big Brother doesn't find him. Yeah, I heard about that guy. He's got a good solution. They don't want good solutions. They want poisons in our atmosphere. He holds a patent that could destroy Monsanto and change the world. Harrington? That sounds real legitimate, Harrington. Go ahead, Harrington. What's your concern?
Yes, just want to know if I could suck your dick.
Wow. Is this guy addicted to sex or something? Why would somebody call a guy
offensive language?
Yeah, it's like they really are sick, mentally ill or something. What's wrong with you guys? Are you eating too many beef byproducts and getting hormones that are in our beef supply? I mean, what's going on with you people? Wow, that is revolutionary.
Okay.
Freaks of the universe are in the show. We can't control that. Yeah, leave DT Laura alone. She's fine.
In 2006, a patent was granted to a man named Paul Stamets. Though Paul is the world's leading mycologist, this patent has received very little attention and exposure. Why is that? Stated by executives in the pesticide industry, this patent represents the most disruptive technology we've ever witnessed. And when executives say disruptive, they're referring to it being disruptive to the chemical pesticides industry. What has he discovered, Paul? He figured out how to use...
So as many of you know, I'm a huge Richard Dawkins nerd. And the other day I was reading a Richard Dawkins article from about a dozen years ago where he's talking about...
Go back to the reality.
He discovered how to use Mother Nature's own creations to keep insects from destroying crops. It's what's being called smart pesticides. These pesticides provide safe and nearly permanent solutions for controlling over 200,000 species of insects, and all thanks to the magic of mushrooms.
Wow.
Paul does this by taking entomopathogenic fungi that destroys insects, and morphs it so it does not produce spores.
Wow.
In turn, this actually attracts the insects, who then eat and turn into fungi from the inside out. That's pretty cool.
This is really interesting. Wow.
The patent has potential to revolutionize the way humans grow crops, if it can be allowed to reach mass exposure. To tolerate the use of pesticides in modern agriculture is to deny evidence proving its detrimental effects against the environment.
Right.
Such ignorance really can no longer be tolerated. For example, can you imagine a world without bees?
Yeah.
Monsanto's chemical concoctions, of course, they're being sprayed everywhere.
They're affecting the bee population. All of Monsanto's spray cocktails. You know, this is a great guy. I hope he isn't squashed. I'm going to add that to my link library tonight.
That
Delicious.
is very cool. It's all about this mushroom, the magic of mushrooms.
David, I like Sponheim. He always keeps a professional business head online. Don't know how he does it. Yeah, but I admire you. Thank you. Well, I've got a lot of years of experience doing this. We've got a daily show that makes sense.
We take all phone calls, and they're not pre-screened, so
yeah, we don't know who's going to call. I heard how Obama's gone to Native Americans and spoken lies to them. Yes. It's constant. Everything out of Obama's mouth seems to be a lie, unfortunately. And I would love to spend an entire evening talking about his lies, but we need to start solving a problem in America, which is the two-party system. We keep electing the same people that say the same things, and we expect them to do something different, and they never do. So this is really a serious time when we need to really start spreading the word about a third party, everybody. This is perhaps the only time in our history when we will be able to reach all of you without limitations by the government. They're trying to control the internet. They're trying to control all aspects and censor every social network. We've seen our YouTube sites being censored. We know that they're coming down hard on all these internet broadcasters, and we definitely believe that this has to happen now. We need to make this happen now. We won't have an opportunity 10 years from now. Seriously. Okay. The fast-growing flesh-eating fungus that killed 5 people following a massive tornado is starting to spread. Well, I wouldn't doubt it's genetically modified to do that. Yeah. Well, there's a lot of things in the environment that if your body is exposed to, the blood, you could easily get that flesh-eating bacteria. It's in the environment. It's naturally occurring. You don't want to get any kind of a wound exposed to the environment. You want to close your wound if you have a wound and immediately get Neosporin on it and make sure you rinse it and make sure it's properly taken care of. Serious. Yeah, well, the fact is GMO has not been tested long term. The studies that GMOs produce, that the companies that produce, are oftentimes just hacked together on the fly. I've got a link that'll pretty much confirm that they have a department at Monsanto created just to dispel the truth. Any truth stories are shut down because they basically control everything. Yeah, I wish I had that link right now. Okay, let me see if I could go.
Which one are you looking for?
Just Monsanto. I'm going to type in Monsanto and see what pops up. I think I have it. Yeah. Here, Monsanto employee admits an entire department exists just to discredit scientists. Look at this article, everybody. This is from naturalsociety.com, a really good site. Naturalsociety.com has this article. But yeah, you take a look at it and you see Monsanto employee admits an entire department exists just to discredit scientists. Read that article and weep. They have unbelievable plans to push GMOs on us, and they'd have no clue as to how it's going to affect us in terms of our health. It's not fake. All right. You filed that link? Good. Well, you can trust in engineers all you want. Geoengineering is pretty much a science and is very well approved by our government. In fact, they are using the atmosphere above us here in Washington as a testing center for nuclear, biological, and chemical weapons. Both here in Washington all the way down to California, the Navy can use this area along the coast as a testing ground for NBC, nuclear, biological, chemical testing. I'll give you an example of where I live. It's beautiful here. It's absolutely stunning. Here's just a kind of a pictorial representation of what our area looks like in a kind of a nutshell. But I look out my front window and I look at something similar to this.
That one that the guest, he tried to give you a link, but he knows he can't post links, so he put a thing with a bunch of spaces in it.
Okay, printable list of owned food producers owned by Monsanto. Okay.
Okay,
well,
I'm going to say good night.
Yeah, hang on. Let me just put you on the screen here. Hang on.
Good night again.
Yes.
Have a wonderful evening.
Thank you for coming in.
Have a wonderful evening.
World Health Organization classifies glyphosate as a carcinogen. That's correct.
Interesting.
I'll add that link in my my link library here. Let me see. Printable list of Monsanto-owned food producers here. You're on the brown list? Oh, are you validating that? Thank you, Sarah. Good night. Thank you. I'll be wrapping up shortly. Thank you. Okay. Monsanto companies. Printable list of Monsanto-owned food producers. List of companies using Monsanto products. I've been fighting Dow and Monsanto all my life, ever since I was a kid, believe it or not. Whoa. Unbelievable list. Wow. Prego, Hunt's, KC Masterpiece, Uncle Ben's V8. Oh, wow. That's a really good link. Thank you for that, guest. Cool. All right, so we've talked a lot about conspiracies. We started with the discussion of the existence of aliens, which, as you know, I still don't believe in aliens, although I'm beginning to wonder. Many scientists who've turned into organic growers have been discredited by the FDA and they lost their jobs and credibility to a corrupt system. Thank you, Guest 237. I know. I fought the resistance in the early 80s when I was marketing organic foods around the country. Stop the subject of Monsanto and move on to the next subject. Whirlwind. Oh, so you really want to pollute the entire environment that we're living in? That's special. Wow. Well, I don't even believe in aliens. But I have an open mind to the possibility. Unless I see an alien firsthand with my own eyes, I tend to believe that it's artistically rendered. Even the top quality alien pictures that I brought to you tonight, you know, I could easily say were altered. But I did meet a guy one time that said he was a Martian. And then he did have a strange weirdness about him, but I did see him at a store and he disappeared in thin air. But I did look away too. I looked away and I turned around and the guy was gone. But I can't really say I did meet a Martian. I mean, that's just too far off. You know, I could say that Monsanto may have cured world hunger temporarily. If in their mind they think they've cured world hunger, but they'll probably end up causing tumor deaths and carcinogenic, you know, effects long term. Right, I'm going to be looking at those YouTube alleged tunnels in Walmart. I can't validate this until I actually see it. Thank you. Right, female sharks have always been able to produce asexually. Yeah, that's what makes sharks such a powerful and ancient species, because they've been doing this for thousands of years, having sex with themselves. If you developed a species that developed its ability to replicate from masturbation, you could imagine all the manlets walking around with hair growing under their arms and, you know, facial hair and all this stuff that would be replicating. Think of all the families that would be saying, honey, I've got a manlet in my family and he's replicating. Sharks are relatively safe from getting cancer, you're right. That's why shark oil is such an interesting product. They are cool. Okay, good. Everything's good. We're all good. We're going to drop off tonight. Tomorrow's Truth Tuesday, where we talk about the truth, what we know to be true. And that involves questions that are never answered by our government, aversions of the truth. We know that, like, for instance, it's true that Barack Obama never presented a picture of the dead Osama bin Laden when he allegedly oversaw the killing of Osama bin Laden in Abbottabad. It's true that he's never revealed any photograph of a dead Osama bin Laden. It's also true, exactly. It was also true that the trial that went on in the international courts, the bin Laden family wanted to see the DNA evidence, and our State Department did not present it. But yet they produce a movie, a full-on production on Netflix. They make all kinds of stories up, you know, like Flight 93 and how it landed. Nobody actually saw any bodies or any body parts when Flight 93 landed in Pennsylvania. We'll be talking about that tomorrow night. Right. Shark oil and hemp oil, take it daily. Okay. I used to live on castor oil as a kid. It turns out it was the best thing I could have had. I mean, it was really good, full of omega-6. Fantastic. Before anyone knew about omega-6 and omega-3 and the benefits of fish oil, my mom was prescribing castor oil to me. It was a homespun remedy. You put this on everything. When he was rumored killed, I said, where is the body? And then it was dumped at sea. I said, they will make the team. They make the team disappear. Yeah. That tells a very big story. The more we see missing people, deaths, truth. We'll talk about that tomorrow night. All the dead people that have been committed, that have died from democide. They say they're suicides or murder-suicides, and they're just not the kind of people that would ever do that. So democide is when anybody who's fighting for democracy or freedom is killed and secretly ushered into the Netherlands. No one ever asks any questions in. And the American people need to realize that a lot of people on the list exist. So I've never been abducted by an alien, if that's what you're asking me. I just don't want to present a story that talks about how you love Monsanto. Sorry. I hate to be non-objective on that case, but we know Monsanto's up to some very evil plans. We know that. We don't want in any way dissuade you from understanding that their goal is pure profit. They've never had any other goal but pure profit. Yes, and I realize the more popular I get, the more dangerous it is for me to do this. I realize that. David, you always talk about the EMP, but how exactly does an EMP take place? Well, what an EMP is an electromagnetic pulse that could be detonated from like a device that could send out a massive electromagnetic burst. It could have a capacitor in it that could have a charge and that could just blow out. And the theory is that it could break through all of our firewalls and solenoids and shut our entire electric grid down, not just temporarily, but for years. And if that happens, we're going to be dealing with a bigger issue than you'll ever imagine. If that's their game plan, then I would be the last guy you'd ever see on the internet, and then you would no longer have an internet, and you'd wonder what the hell just happened. Well, that's the time to seriously prepare for your family's survival. But Paul made a good point. Profit and population reduction are their primary goals. And if they want to do this, they want to continue to make money and get rid of human beings in the process, why not produce GMOs that cause cancer? Why not spray the atmosphere with chemtrails? Why not poison the water supply with fluoride? Why not send radio frequencies throughout the air, making us all into babbling idiots? Going, da 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 da. All right, thank you for coming in, everybody. Good night. We're going to play a discussion about alien structures on the moon by NASA scientists. I'm not scared of every chemical. No. There's 55,000 chemicals in the air right now. You should be afraid of the healthcare industry, who's going to scam you for every dollar you ever had trying to save you and then end up seeing you die. I would be more worried about the healthcare industry that's trying to rip you off. I'm going to turn off the cam in a second. Thank you for coming in. Good night. I fooled you there, didn't I?
In 1965, in mid-1965, I was loaned to the Lunar Orbiter Project at NASA on Langley Field. Dr. Colley was in charge of that project. They had problems with a piece of electronic equipment that was bottlenecking their production of photographs. I went to the facility, and when I walked into the facility, there were scientists from all over the world. I was stunned, actually, to see people at a NASA project from all over the world. It didn't make any sense to me initially. I was taken into the laboratory where the equipment was malfunctioning. I couldn't repair it in the dark. I asked to have it removed. A airman second class was in the dark room at that time. I was also an airman second class. I was interested in how the whole process functioned, how the data got from the lunar orbiter to the laboratory. Asked the young man if he described the process to me. He did. About 30 minutes into the process, he said to me, in a very distressed way, by the way, we've discovered a base on the backside of the moon. And then he proceeded to put photographs down in front of me, and clearly in these photographs were structures, mushroom-shaped buildings, spherical buildings, and towers. And at that point, I was very concerned because I knew we were working on compartmentalized security. He had breached security, and I was actually frightened at that moment. And I did not question him any further. And a few moments later, someone did come into the room. I worked there for 3 more days, and I remember going home and naively thinking, I can't wait to hear about this on the evening news. And here it is, more than 30 years later, and I hope we hear about it tonight. And I will testify under oath before Congress that what I'm saying is the truth.
Thank you, Carl. Good morning, everyone. My name is Donna Hare, and I worked at Philco Ford Aerospace from 1967 to 1981. During that time, I was a design illustrator, draftsman. I did the launch slides and landing slides, and also projection plotting boards, lunar maps for NASA. We were